Hello. Hi. Things function. Somewhat. Now. Thank you, Zoom. Appreciate his Croc Rock. Hi, Croc Rock. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello. Things function somewhat. Am I surprised? No. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It appears to be, in fact, the port that struggles. From what I can tell. Yep. The USB port. The USB 3 port that also is the fast one. Isn't that cool? Wonderful. That's why I didn't stream yesterday, because I had to figure out where that comes from. Is it a wrong setting? Was it a driver? Was it anything? I do not know. I genuinely do not know how this happened. I'm assuming actually the broken capture card just nuked that port. But you cheated me yesterday. There's no cheating, because I watch what I want to watch anyway. Regardless, you did that on purpose. Nope. So now right now what I'm doing is, so I have this small like USB port with 4 different ports, right? That's what I have, right? If I plug that into the port, everything's chill, right? It recognizes the webcam, it recognizes the microphone, everything's cool, chill, right? The USB-C is fine. The USB 2? It could also be USB 3 on the other side. I do not know, right? I haven't looked at it, but I think it is a second USB 3, just not as fast. Anyway, right? I look at that. That's fine. If I plug the microphone or the webcam specifically into this port without the USB hub in between, it doesn't work. It doesn't get recognized. I tried everything. I uninstalled the drivers. I deactivated the ports manually. I restarted everything. Nothing helps. I don't know what it is. So now I've ordered a the new capture card, right? Which is a better capture card, $30 instead. Very costly. Gonna come on Tuesday. And then I ordered, after finding that out, a USB hub that I can actually plug into my extension, so I don't have that issue again. So it will now take electricity from the extension instead of, which is very important, right? Instead of the laptop. So now no longer the USB port should no longer be suffering from this. So now the plan is, I can either start, you know, though you always watch stuff from other people. What? I'm confused. So now it should be fine. It should be fine. Maybe, potentially. I hope that the port works with the hub that I will use, because right now the hub functions. Which means I will try that way and we'll see how it goes, right? Mr. Beast? I'm very confused, my friend. But now everything should be okay so far. I don't think we'll have some issues here, some trouble here, so far. But I'll have to see, I don't know yet. So all in all, this cost me about 60 bucks, which wasn't that cool, honestly. That's munya that could have gone to something else, but it is what it is. Maybe it was about time I got one anyway, so it's fine, I guess. Right? So this one comes with 7 ports, 36 watts. Easy. Easy, very, very easy. Yeah, we'll see. I am speaking English, but not in the context. Not what I'm about to yap about, or I'm yapping about. But yeah, we'll see. But so far, this is the point that I am. I'm almost broken. So now tomorrow, I have no idea what we're gonna do. For one, we could try streaming the Twilight Princess PC port, right? Because I wanted to do that all the time. I could try remote play with my Xbox. It doesn't look nearly as crisp, and I would instead start my Scorched Earth playthrough instead of continuing the hardcore world. That is an option. Or we'll continue... we could continue Star Ocean, right? Because I still have that. And I haven't finished it. That's the other option. Or we'll do DX Director's Cut and Shiny Hunt there. That's the decision that I'm making. I'm gonna probably try out the remote play, see how well this functions, and if it does peak, if it doesn't, well, we have an issue, but I hope not. And there's that. Anyway, I've yapped enough. That's the full update, right? The port functions, just not by actually putting everything in there, which is a problem. Anyway, and now I have some more new stuff to work off and work with. That's pretty much all. That's pretty much all so far. So we'll see how this works. I've pretty much recorded all the drama stuff. Focus stream Xbox Kinect. I probably would still need that though. So this, and I don't have a Kinect, and I wouldn't spend money on the Kinect. So there's that. I would certainly not do that. I like using my money more wise, and I'm kind of not happy that this happened, but you can't really do much. Anyway, we'll jump over here now. Hello. Hello, mortals. We're going to do some reactions now. Wonderful. But yeah, this is as far as I got. And yeah, it does piss me off to a degree. Hold up, I need to pull this down. I'll actually have to pull this down because I need to delete some stuff because that would probably drain some stuff, which I do not want. Okay, now this. Now pull up this again, and we should be okay. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Because I probably still need a lot of save for this to work. But there's that. Anyway, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this. Angry John plays The Lost Souls sequel to White Mirror. Doesn't this sound familiar? Hold up. Anyway, this is a John Wolfie video. We're gonna watch this. Also, please consider liking, subscribing. I appreciate it. Again, don't know what to expect. Never know what to expect. Probably a horribly bad game, outrageously bad, but we will have a look at it.
From the acclaimed developer of My Bones and
keeps making video. How did this by the way reach mixed reviews? Not again. Not again. Not this again. Not again. Not again. So My Bones, Verge, The Lost Chapter, White Mirror, and now this.
Verge Lost Chapter and White Mirror.
Honestly though, between Verge and White Mirror, some improvement happened, so I'll give the creator that.
Comes a new horror masterpiece. one man walks through several dark hallways and presses a bunch of switches in order to uncover the disturbing truth. The Lost Souls.
Hey guys, it's John, and welcome to my playthrough of The Lost Souls. What is like in hell? Do not feel the wind. Do not touch soft grass with your feet. Do not see the sun.
Do not hear child. Wait, oh god. What is like the first sentence? The first sentence in this whole thing, okay? The first sentence in this whole thing is incorrect. The first sentence in this whole thing is false. It's wrong. Do not feel the wind. That's fine. Do not touch soft grass with your feet. So, rough grass is fine in this case. Do not see the sun. Do not hear child's laugh. Already wrong again. Do not understand what is joy. Do not, wait, is it not, do not understand what joy is? Family, friends. Anyway, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Put them down. Whoever made this, put them down.
Do not hear child's laugh. Do not understand what is joy, family, friends. I would like to say a small story about how I fall in hell and lost my soul, and how Once on a wonderful day, we arrived in an old villa at the weekend to spend a fun time, but accidentally we find an old mirror in that house. But who would have thought this mirror was for portal to a hell? In the first minutes, as soon as I pick up the mirror, I feel a power which wants to escape. At this moment, the white mirror slip out of my hands, break into small pieces, then everything was like in fog. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the sequel to White Mirror, that game that I played a couple months ago. From the same developer of My Bones and Verge Lost Chapter, I present to you stagnation, as it would seem. Lack of improvement. Let's start a new story. I don't understand what's happening.
It is indeed lack. So one thing that has been consistent throughout all of these is either bad spelling or bad grammar. Those are the things that have been consistent throughout all of these, right? But that we start with it is already crazy. Now then, it probably is going to be a hallway simulator again, because it always was. You could argue that there was slight improvements from like Verge and My Bones to right, that there was slight improvement, right, to White Mirror, because at least now there were some horror elements that weren't in there in the first part, the first two games. And now we'll see if he improved again. Why is there a 6-7 sticker to send for 67 diamonds? Oh my god. Hi Shadow Eclipse, how you doing? Everything well? Hello. That is stupid. That's a new one. I just recently also activated gifts because I didn't know how they worked. But now I do, obviously. But before I didn't know.
Do not remember my name. I cannot understand where I am. I just want one thing, to get out from this place. Barely had enough time to read that. And I didn't have enough time to read the instructions. I think it said press M for, right, of course. This was in White Mirror as well. Find the entrance to church, find the switch, open all the gates, find a descent into the dungeon. Perfect. Full disclosure. I'm gonna get pretty vicious on this.
Wait a minute. Why is this already familiar? Like, this just looks already familiar. Why does it already look like My Bones?
Dude, because this is his 4th game that he's released on Steam, and I can.
Shadow Eclipse, thank you for the 6-7 jewels. It's so stupid. Who made this? Fire them immediately. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was not needed. Well, 6-7.
Already tell there's no improvement. Thank you. Chapter 1, Welcome to Home. I sure as hell hope this isn't my home. Although, we can tell, this is probably possibly the reddest game that he's created. So, we're on the right track there. We're about to have a scary, spooky time. I don't think I would have such a problem with this developer if, it wasn't exceedingly clear that he...
For whatever reason, the sound happens twice. That's oddly enough. I need to change some of the stuff probably to make this work properly. I have to look what I can do, and maybe change the sound and everything to something. I don't know. We'll see. I need to figure this out first.
Allegedly has his friends post positive reviews for his game on Steam and raise the rating up. At least that's what he's done for his last couple games. Good. Anyway, made an FPS creator, just like the last one. To open the secret door, enter numbers in the opposite direction. Hint, use the keyboard to enter the code.
What else would you use? What else would you use? How do you make 4 games and not barely improve?
You gotta be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. All I did was type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it? That's it. That's not a puzzle. That's not... Hi. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Wait, didn't he make the same mistake in Verge? So, right, in Verge, that dude spawns right behind him, right? And then you walk towards it and he vanquishes. That's the exact same thing again.
I have no words. You have that puzzle followed by that poofer. It serves no purpose. What did I flip the switch for? There is nothing sacred. It is all unreal. I am going crazy from the howling wind. I feel no wind, no grass. What you just said? Okay. It is like I was dead, but I see and hear everything. Everything is dead. This place makes me crazy. This is a terrible note. It makes no sense why it's on the ground here in a manila folder. The poetry is awful. It's horribly written. It's not properly translated. It serves no purpose. There's no world building. I don't feel anything from being that. There are the crows that I hear in every single one of this guy's games. I hear those.
Bro, he's angry. He's angry. Wow. Bro, that's enough. He's not too happy about this anymore. Bro's like, yeah. By the way, I'm done with this shit. With his shit. I'm actually done with his shit. There's no improvement whatsoever.
Crows. Constantly in the background. He loves putting them in his games. It's not gonna stop, folks. There they are again. There they are. You just wait for them to just stop abruptly every time. He doesn't even try to like blend it in. Hi. I find descent into a church, but damn door does not want to open. I need to find a solution. How to go down. Perhaps the secret is hidden in the book, is in the church. Right. Good. So, are you talking about this, right? Can't get in there, huh? That's a puzzle. Am I gonna have to type numbers backwards again? This time it's gonna be 1 to 6. I'm gonna have to do it the opposite way, see? No fucking way.
Honestly, the issue, right? The issue is not even, right? The surroundings, the atmosphere, right? You could still use this and turn it to something, I suppose, functional? The main issue, and that's really just the main issue, right? Is that, this is, how do you put this? Nothing's happening, right? Nothing is happening. The puzzles are absolutely atrocious, right? We can tell that they are, because if they weren't, well, you wouldn't be able to. Well, you wouldn't be able to tell, but they are. They are terrible. No denial in that. It's everything else. It's just everything else that is terrible.
Is it open up? Wait. It's open up. I didn't even read the rest of it. You have to have a pure heart to see it. No, you just have to have a functioning brain. All right, well, we're done with this area, I guess. That was it, everybody. How many minutes was that? Apparently someone has already been to church. I find the several notes. They say how to open the door to the dungeon. Now I will hope that I can find an entrance from this damn place. Did I just get hurt? All right, guys.
We're now in some sort of underground tunnel system, almost, I suppose, with a little bit of, because that's the reason why there's water. Hi, Judah. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello. Okay, I like my drama nerd sibling. Want attention for entering any space? Sure. Oh, you're back. Hi. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. So I explained it in the beginning. I'm not gonna explain it again. Just know that things aren't functioning the way I want them to. But that's about it, really.
I don't understand. Chapter 2. We are already in hell. We are. That's truer words have never been spoken. I am in hell right now. This is awful. The one good thing that you can say about this is that it looks nice. That's about it. I have no thoughts. What is waiting for me when I will go down to this place? Who could think that there is the huge temple under the church? That was all one sentence. But this is not so simple as it seems. Apparently this place was used by Sinister PG. Oh, PG, right, yeah. From the last game, our favorite character. This doesn't open. Okay.
This man cannot produce a properly structured, grammatically correct sentence. It is outrageous. You need help? Throw me a message. My USB port is damaged. That's probably all. It's weird. I tried everything that you could do. It doesn't want to listen to me. If I plug everything normally in there, it doesn't work, or it doesn't get recognized. If I plug in a USB hub and then everything, it works. It's odd. It doesn't work the way I want it to. It's weird.
Guess we'll go this way. Can this open up? Press F. Good. Good. You just type it backwards. Again! Hint, use the keyboard. At this point, they don't need the hint. Are we underwater? He loves doing these underwater segments too. He had one of these in White Mirror. That looks like a switch over there. Great.
It's even more funny, right? It's even more hilarious because, and let's consider that, he's not even swimming, right? He's essentially probably, I'm assuming, if you were to go into third person perspective, you would likely you'd likely walk underwater. Australia fact, Volkswagen is adding a device to their cars to create a high-pitched noise to stop kangaroo come close to their cars. It has GPS, so it knows the type of kangaroo in the area and thus the specific frequency to use. Just another way to overlook the people in Australia. Mass surveillance.
Good. Brother, dude, come on, man. All right, we're done here. I don't know what that was. I'm sure they poofed, though. Why did I open up? I'm sure that's all that we needed to do there. It couldn't have been more complicated.
At least he added small, tiny details, like, right, swimming in the water, and then when you go up, you're gonna gasp for air, right? So there's that. I guess that's a nice thing to have.
Complicated than that. There isn't more to do over there, is there? Okay, we'll go over here now. What sound effect was that? What sound effect?
What sound effect is that? I hear a weird sound in my ears. What is fingering my ears? Anyway, this is Poke when he fights birds in games. It is one bird. Was a single bird. It was just the holo bird. I guess arguably a raptor is also a bird. Anyway.
Is that? Should do a speed run of this. Are you serious?
Isn't this just the exact same? No, is it? No, it's not. I think it's not entirely. He went a little bit to the right, didn't he? No, this is the exact same room, by the way.
Another switch in the same place. Oh. I suppose this opens up the door. Good. Oh man. It was a real tough thing to do, holding my breath for that long. Alright. Hey, it's open. I find a temple in the dungeon. I start to hear voices in my head. I need to move in search of an entrance. Why? What is the overall purpose? Chapter 3, Mercy.
The more the question is, we don't get anything, right? If there were a few more lore dumps, right? Like, it would be fine to just drop in a few little lore dumps. Maybe give a little lore on the beginning of why we are even where we are, right? It's not like he's doing that either, right? It's not like that is happening either. I mean, it isn't, right? That's the whole problem. It isn't. Nothing's happening here. Nothing. Like, actually nothing.
See. Chapter 3. Why even name these chapters? We need 3 artifacts. Ooh, Johnny.
Right? It's like literally, so here's the thing, right? It's a sequel, but you don't get context from the sequel, like from the prequel, essentially, right? You just spawn here. It's weird.
Oh, hey. Hello there. It's like they know my name. So where are we going? Do I go down? We'll go down for at least one artifact. Then we probably gotta go up for another one. What is this? He loves using that sound effect too. What? It's a different typeface.
What? Why are there drinking noises? Am I stupid for hearing these? Why are there drinking noises? What? Why? Why on earth are there drinking noises? I am so confused. Why are there drinking noises?
Don't make me drunk again. This was in the last game too. You can
He's done it again.
Drink from the bottles and it makes you drunk. Took an artifact. Hey, ooh, it's super red over there. We should go over there. Ooh, look at how red it is. Look, it's the reddest game ever. Scariest game I've played. Stop it with the... Why? There's no...
The reddest game ever. I mean, kinda. It's true that it is kind of the reddest game ever. Like, at least the reddest game that I've seen him play. But it's just weird. Why would you make this? Honestly, this should be considered a war crime at this point. Drunk is probably what the creator was. Mega drunk. Either drunk or high. Okay, you have to understand the greatness of walking sims. I could make a better walking simulator, right? I could just make, right? Instead, you just make an idle walking game. Like an idle marathon game, whatever.
No purpose to that. There's no cinematic appreciation for that sound effect. It's just playing for no reason. Oh, it's open now. Oh no, guys. It's the same monster from White Mirror. There he is. Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't find me in the red. Oh no, guys. I think I see the artifact. They're both of them are in there! Dude! Both of them are in there! Two.
What is this? I have no quality and I must drink. Bro, no, maybe the usage of alcohol actually comes from the fact that the game isn't good, right? Like, he wants to drink because of, like, he drinks because the game is bad. Maybe that.
Two of them! They're in the same room! You gotta be shitting me, dude. Oh my freaking gosh. There he is. It's the same monster. Hey, they opened up this room, but there's nothing we need in there. Stop it with the sound effect. Wow, hey, there's one. Hey, there's another one. Why were they both in the same room? Was he just like, all right, the monster was not even a threat. Where even is he? Bye. I bet he was like, all right, the second artifact will be down here. And then he was like, all right, let's just put the third one down there too. I don't want to have to make another way to get the third artifact. It's just lazy. It's laziness.
Somehow not as bad as the Plague game, because see, the thing is, at least it's still like somewhat pleasing to the eye, right? It's like at least like kind of nice to look at, right? But the others, this one wasn't, and the others, the first two aren't. The third is, this is, but that's about it. Like, it's at least like nice to look at, but that's about it. Nothing else.
Hey, I got all three of them. Hold F to take the artifact? He had the same thing in White Mirror. I don't understand what's supposed to be happening. During the transition from this world to the other, the mirror slips from my hand. I need to find it quickly. What mirror? There's no mirror in these. Okay. Chapter 4, Last Hope. Does anyone have it? Okay, leave a comment. Does anyone have any idea what the fuck is going on in this game? I have no idea. No.
Weird noises and voices in the back, distorted voices in the background. Wonderful. No, I'm talking about the game from last week, Poke. It is, honestly, this one isn't as that bad, unironically. But, like, it's infuriating if you see somebody not make any progress. I feel like that's the infuriating part here, right? He probably got enough feedback, right? There's a good chance, right? He watched this probably, right? That's a good chance, right? The previous three, right? All in his game, right? You know, you'd at least assume that. I'd assume that, right? So, right, looking at this, you'd expect some improvement. There's nothing there.
No clue. Like, really, the only thing this game has going for it is that it's kind of cool visually, but it's completely empty. One, find an artifact. Two, go back home. I don't know, why did it stop me there? No, stop it with the sound effect! If you have it looping with the music, it's completely pointless. What did that open?
So I think this man has only one. So here's the option, right? I don't know if these are assets, by the way. Okay. If it isn't, that's actually kind of nice, right? If at least everything is made, self-made, fair, okay, right? So here's my I have a proposition for him. He works on the way the game looks, and somebody else works on story, sound design, and mechanics. That's it. That's all. That's all we need, arguably.
Who the fuck knows? There's another one over here. There's a mirror. Hey, look! We found the mirror, guys. I thought it was slipping from his hands or some shit.
The white mirror.
Why the distance? Is this just padding? Is he trying to make sure this game is oh, what? What? I'm sorry, but just look. Look, we got our friend in there waiting for us. The same guy. What's he doing there? Who knows? He's the mirror guardian. No need to create a story for him or a reason for his existence. Like, is there just... Oh, of course this is open. Is there just zero...
Wait. What? Okay, maybe not. Maybe also not the design. Just make no games. Just stop making games. My advice is stop making them. Just stop. Stop it. Get some help. Stop making them. And you're good to go. I think that is the way to go. Stop making video games.
Zero appreciation for storytelling in this guy's games? What is the point? Are there is there two switches here or did this open up something up here? Here's another one. Is there another one up here? Okay. Well, from what I could tell, there were only two switches. So now I'm guessing we go back to the surface. Once again, what is the point? Okay, guys. You ready to beat the game? I don't even know how long I've been playing. 15 minutes? 20, maybe? I read in the reviews that it crashes a lot, which I'm sure is a shocker for everyone.
Yeah, badly optimized. Are we surprised here? See, it hasn't crashed yet, though. I suppose, so we can give them that. It hasn't crashed yet, but it still can. It still can. It still can crash though, right? It hasn't yet, but that doesn't mean anything. They don't have for this creators that these games are multi-million-dollar tax write-offs. If like this game dev, if you could call them that, right? If it is, good for him, but if it isn't, embarrassing. Yeah, you're dead, buddy.
Okay. Unfortunately, the artifact was destroyed. There are no chances for me to leave this place. I am forced to stay in this hell. What an ending.
No way, that's the ending. That's the no way.
That's the end, right? Game completed! I completed it, everybody.
Hey, no to be continued. Chat, there's no to be continued.
Wow, how fulfilling. What a fulfilling experience. Thank you, developer. Okay. Instead of releasing a shit game every 3 months, maybe work on one? Maybe actually create something worthwhile? It was funny at first. I thought My Bones was pretty funny. I love it all smooth. Classic line. I even thought Verge Lost Chapter was kind of funny, having to, you know, duel with Yolandi from The Antwoord. That was pretty good. You know, even White Mirror had some charming moments. But this, not okay. Not okay with this. I don't know. I feel like I've tried to be constructive in previous plays of this game. And there's not a lot of people on YouTube who play this guy's games. But I feel like all the constructive criticism has kind of gone to waste, so fuck it. It's gonna be a little bit more brutal in this one. Yeah, final verdict, it sucks. Don't get it. I mean, I feel like if you're at this point in the video, you weren't gonna get it anyway, but yeah, bad. And gonna leave a negative review because, as always, it currently has positive. So I'll see you guys later. Think critically.
Well, not much to say here. I think everything was said. I think everything was said, right? And there's that. I wonder why more people don't play these games. I feel like there's no need for that, in my humble opinion. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's Treasures. This is a bad game. Never again. Never let this man cook again. Hi GT, how you doing? Everything well? Did you get your new car yet? Nope. It comes next week, actually on Tuesday. But I won't be using it until probably Wednesday or Thursday because I'm getting a USB hub with its own way of getting energy. I have one that I can plug into my extension that would probably help a lot with not straining my USB ports. It's also the USB port is kind of damaged. I don't know why. With a USB hub, with the small one I have, functions. Without, doesn't function. It's odd. It's weird. Anyway, we'll continue. We'll continue with something else. I'll move over. Permission to pour bleach on my ice poker. Sorry, buddy, but if I'm not allowed to do that, so are you. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. We'll find an alternative to do on the other days. That's fine. All right. So next we're gonna do probably the Streamer University thing, and then the Pipkin Pippa clips. Right? Shadow Clips hasn't recommended something in a while, and the Pipkin Pippa clips are always fun, especially since I haven't actually seen that many. Yep, you're reacting to VTuber clips. That's what we're gonna do nowadays. Next. Anyway, I have all the drama I need for this week, so like I'm just gonna chill. Well, do I? I think I need one more. We're gonna get one more, and then I can just like we're just gonna do mostly chill videos. Anyway, so we're gonna look at this one because that's gonna be fun. I have very strong. This is gonna be fun, okay? Because I have very strong opinions about Streamer University. Very strong opinions. Anyway, Streamer University crash outs are getting weird by Cameron. We're gonna look at this. Also, please consider like subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're going in. I have strong opinions on this stuff because I've not seen actually any somewhat big creators actually come out of this. It is a bit odd. Regardless, we'll go in.
That Kai Cenat denied me from Streamer U.
I'm not his. No more. Hello. Not his. No more.
And then here she is again on the streets.
What? Huh? I'm confused. Okay, fair. I'm confused, honestly. I'm confused. What?
Protesting because Kai denied her from Streamer U.
Now I'm outside doing this because you did.
Because you're a clown. Because you're a clown. I'm probably assuming that it means that B. Kaisana denied me from Streamer U. I mean, are we serious? Though honestly, I think she's actually doing it for the bit. I think. I don't actually think she's serious about what she's yapping here. That's just my opinion, but I don't know.
What? Really?
In the middle of the street, too.
That's the stuff they f***ing me too. This is what you do to people's careers and shit.
You're telling me that you're out there on the streets, getting in front of people's cars, being an inconvenience to their day, all because you didn't get into Streamer U and you're blaming Kai Cenat? You are a grown-ass woman.
No, I won't say that. Ah! They mad.
Of course people are mad because you're standing in the middle of the street while they're trying to go. But if they were to run you over, you would be like, oh my gosh, it's their fault. Well, I mean, shoot, you're being...
It isn't. It isn't. Right? There was a period. There was a period in our time, right, where climate activists would glue themselves onto the streets and then were complaining that people attempted to run them over when they themselves were the cause for that. It's everyone else's fault but yours. Yeah, we had that before. Though I wouldn't be surprised if she would pull the same thing.
an inconvenience. Okay, no, don't run anyone over. Don't do that. Once again, though, this is a grown-ass woman on the streets with clown makeup on, protesting because Kai didn't pick her for Streamer U. People are reaching levels of boredom that I didn't even think were possible. Also, before we continue, I have contacts in. Yo, these boys were hard to put in. This is my first time wearing contacts, but yeah, that's why I don't have any glasses. Okay, so a little bit ago, I dropped a video titled "Not Everyone Can Be a Content Creator," where I talked
Oh wait, that's why it's unfamiliar. Anyway.
about how not everyone should be a content creator and not everyone
We have opposing views. I think everyone should be a content creator. You want to know why? Because it would be funny. Not because I think it's a good thing. Not because I think this would like do anything good for the world. I'm saying it because I'm a menace. And it would be funny. It would be funny. Right? It would be hilarious. I want chaos. Total and utter chaos. Right? It would be very interesting.
should just quit their jobs for content creation without even making any money for it, just relying on their own blind faith. That's pretty much it. I just think that's pretty dumb, especially in today's economy. There's nothing wrong with chasing your dreams, but quitting your job with no other form of income and only grinding content creation is not a smart move, especially since it takes a good amount of time to actually touch money in content creation. And one thing I touched on in that video was Kai Cenat's Streamer University, because there was a lot of people quitting their jobs for Streamer U without even knowing if they got selected or anything, thinking that if they just quit their job and go all in on streaming, it'll give them a higher chance in getting into Streamer U. And once they get into Streamer U, they'll be solidified in the streaming world, which in my opinion, I just don't think is the best idea once again, especially if you're not making that much money from streaming. Also, I don't think that Streamer U is just going to automatically put you on and you'll be set for life all because you were a part of it. Don't get me wrong, Streamer U is definitely
Especially since when the people that give advice have failed themselves. I've seen Jellywig give advice to people. Right? By the way, people glazing this man, like, I don't know, they're like married to him, by the way, just saying that. But yeah, I've seen people, right, you can't really take advice from somebody seriously, right? When they tried to make a second channel without telling anybody and it not succeeding. Yes, by the way, it didn't succeed. It didn't succeed at all, in fact. So yeah, that happened. And it only succeeded after he made somebody else give him a shout out. Then it succeeded. But yeah, if you hear any advice from Jellywig, don't take it. This man cannot even create a second channel from the ground up. Reason being, you need luck. That's the harsh reality. You need luck. Luck is an incredible factor. Without luck, you are not getting anywhere. No matter what you do. You can't force it. I mean, you can blunt force it in some way, shape, or form. I guess you could brute force it, but that's about it.
a good opportunity if you're a streamer, but it's not what makes or breaks your career, in my opinion. Also, I believe that streamer you shouldn't be your end goal, because if that's your end goal, what do you do after streamer you? Are you just going to sit there waiting for the next streamer you, then beg Kai to get into streamer you again? Is that your whole goal? And mind you, people are quitting their jobs for streamer you when streamer you has a lower acceptance rate than Harvard. Actually, a lower acceptance rate than most Ivy League colleges. Yeah, and even though streamer you is not a traditional college, it's a bunch of streamers going to classes and creating content, living on campus for 5 days. That's still extremely low to quit your job for. But recently though, Kai announced who's in Streamer U this year on his return stream, and to no surprise, the internet was in uproar. Some people were chill about his selections, but others were sad and mad because they didn't get selected. And when you got all these people quitting their jobs for it and they don't get selected, what do you think happens? You even had some people saying that this whole Streamer U class was just all girls when the ratio is 61 men and 59 women. So damn near a 1-to-1 ratio. But nah, according to
That's fine. What? They pretty much did the 50-50 thing. No, now, here's the question. Do I think that here's the thing. So here's the thing. I don't think that most of these people selected are talented enough to be selected. Not that I'm talented. I am not. I'm far from it. But I feel like there's probably a bunch of people that would probably, without Streamer University being in there, probably won't get anywhere to begin with. And chances are they're probably established creators to begin with, so it doesn't really matter whether they get in or not. It doesn't really change anything for them, right? So that's my opinion, right? I don't think that this is the end all be all, because probably people were selected that already are big creators.
the internet, Kai just hates men and he just wants a bunch of women in there, I guess. But yeah, in today's video, we're just gonna be talking about these streamer you denials because, oh my gosh, this whole thing is bad. Now, one of the weirdest videos I've seen on the internet recently was this guy who got mad because there were a lot of black people in streamer you. I'm just gonna play the video.
You're not black!
You're not at Streamer University. 82.5% of acceptances were black. Not that there's a problem.
Just saying.
Not that there's a problem, just saying. But you made a whole video screaming in your car about how there's too many black people in streamer you. But it's not a problem though.
If you're a gooner girl streamer, you're in Streamer U. If you're a fucking super rich,
Mega famous streamer?
you're in Streamer U. One of the only people that deserved to be there was the puzzle lady. She didn't even fucking apply. Dude, what the fuck?
Which I feel like this video is just insane because black people have always been left out of certain opportunities, whether it's jobs, communities, or just certain spaces in general because of biases, structural barriers, and historical disadvantages. And when this black
Yeah, that has nothing to, that you cannot pull the, sorry buddy, but you cannot pull the victim card for this, especially since a black man is literally running it. Anyway, there will probably be some bias regardless, right? There will be bias. I'm absolutely 100% sure that booby streamer, there is a booby streamer bias. I'm sorry, but that's right. That whole thing is simply the ones who get selected are most gullible. Yep. There's no denial, probably, right, that bias was in there in the selection, right? You cannot tell me that there's probably a ton of booby streamers in there, right? I'm assuming that there's probably plenty in there. I just don't see it. And also the history, like, wow, if you generally sit here and tell me, oh, historically, right, the black people were so affected that now, right, they had a lower chance getting into streamer, like being content creators, that's just yapping. That's just pulling stuff out of your ass, in my opinion, right? I think it's just, right, we also have, like, black YouTube, right? We had a specific YouTube thing for black creators. And it failed! It failed! What does that tell you? The reality is that, how do I put this? Most black creators do not target a wide variety of an audience. They mostly will target a black audience, right? And obviously, that's likely not enough to make it big, That's just the reality, right? If it was, right, you're just limited to the audience that you have, right? It's just that simple. It just really is that simple. And most are doing that. Just like if you had an Italian creator, due to language barrier, you would likely just have Italians as an audience. Sure, there might be some minority in there, but that's about it. So I personally don't believe that this has anything to do with that. It's simply that a difference in what content is liked on the internet. And when you don't make, see, there's a reason why you won't see like a 10 million subscriber account of somebody doing arts and crafts. You won't see that because it's not that popular, or fishing. That's a reality. You get the audience for that you make content for, and if you don't target a wide audience, then you have an issue. I don't think this has anything to do with skin color particularly, but simply the choice of content people make. It's that simple.
Black man Kai Cenat makes an event and invites a good amount of black people, since black people have always been left out of many things. You're mad about that? And once again, it's funny because he's not saying that it's a problem, but then whining in his car about it. Like, why is this surprising? And it's funny because Kai, when he first started streaming, he was left out of so many things.
Now, I think it's just everyone that does this has some way, shape, or form of bias, right? I'm not gonna fault Kai Cenat for picking more black people, right? He absolutely would. He's black, of course. He absolutely would. If an Asian was running Streamer University, you'd probably have a lot more Asians than if it were a white or black person. It is really not that complicated. And I don't think this has nothing to do with racism. This has simply to do with how do you say it? Group mentality, group bias, whatever. Social group bias. It's that simple. You're likely gonna pick people more that you align with. It's that simple. Or that belong to your group, right?
Twitch wasn't even acknowledging Kai for the longest, no matter how big the goals he crushed were, for a while. So when he got to the top, he made his own thing, Streamer U, and his own thing has a lot of black people. I really don't see a problem with this, and I'm just not sure why are you surprised?
Twitch wasn't acknowledging him, one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sorry, there's just a lot of crap. I'm sorry. For once, I don't agree with him at all here. Right? Not acknowledging biggest creator on the platform, by the way. Yeah, sure, but one of the biggest creators. At one point, the biggest creator. Yeah, no, sorry.
Like, if this was a governmental thing, that would make more sense, right? Have an equal amount of all kinds of races and stuff. But this is Kai Cenat Streamer University that we're talking about, man. Like, I just found this video super dumb. Plus, I think if this dude has such a problem with it, why doesn't he make his own? Like, I just don't understand that. I find that pretty stupid. He also had people screaming and crying because
I don't really have an issue actually with the people that are in it, right? It's most an issue with the people that are running it. I wonder if Jellywick shows up here.
they didn't get into Streamer U, which I think is pretty dumb as well, because once again, Streamer U, it's a good opportunity, but it's not the end all be all. If you don't get into Streamer U, getting mad isn't going to solve that issue. Same with crying. Just keep streaming. I've said it so many times, but people think that Streamer U is gonna put them on, and that's what's gonna quote unquote take them out of the hood, I guess, when that's just not the case. Because many people went last year, and they're still in the same spot that they were in before.
It's also that the advice given, again, isn't that great. Because it comes from people that have failed their own advice. There's I think a few of the biggest things that I can say people are doing wrong. Number one, a lot of these big creators are audience captured. They will never say what they believe. They will always do what's currently trendy. They will not go against what people currently think, right? They're incredibly audience captured. That's one thing. The people giving you advice are that. Exactly. Second thing, a lot of these are actually not doing anything, right? So I think Jellywick basically said it's fine to essentially quote unquote steal, not really steal, copy. And I guess to a degree he's actually right. But a lot of people do that one-to-one and then get cooked. The actual thing you should do is actually, you see something and you're like, I could actually do that better. And then you check if you can do it better. And if you can do it better, you technically simply take their format and do it your way, right? It's interesting. A lot of the advice that people give is not. There's also another thing people do. They don't make content for their community. They make content for other creators. I've seen that as well. And I'm questioning things because that's also not normal behavior. You're supposed to make content for your target audience, not for I don't know. Not for Michelle 07. So she approves it for you as a content creator. That's not the idea.
Streamer you even started. So for you to sit there and think that this thing is gonna skyrocket your career, I'm not saying that it won't. What I'm trying to say is don't rely on it. I feel like it's so dumb when people try to rely on streamer you to pop off, and then when they don't get in, they start crying and screaming.
How much fucking harder? How much fucking harder, nigga? Dad!
That's literally the reason why you didn't get in. That's literally one of the reasons you didn't get in. This behavior. Yeah, sure, I want to be associated with that. Absolutely.
I was outside sleeping on dirt for 6 days, bitch! 6 days!
So because you slept on dirt for 6 days, that means that you should get in. And even I'm reading this right now. It says Streamer University Tattoo, sleeping on dirt at in-person auditions, and didn't even see Kai, working every day. What more else? Just keep on streaming. Like, I feel like screaming and crying isn't gonna solve this issue. Plus, you chose to do these things. You chose to get a tattoo. You chose to sleep on dirt. I feel like that's more your fault than anything. Those days where you were sleeping on dirt and stuff, like, he was probably streaming, I would assume. But you could have been at home streaming. Even a tattoo. Why would you get a permanent tattoo of Streamer University? Is that not the dumbest thing ever? Look, I like tattoos. I don't think that all tattoos need meaning. Like, I think some tattoos just look cool. And hey, if it looks cool, get it, right? But a Streamer University tattoo, you are a whole ass cornball for that shit. I hate to say it. I know I sound mean right now, but you're a complete idiot. If you sat there in the tattoo chair, got a Streamer University tattoo, and look, you're not even in Streamer U.
I didn't get in! I didn't get in, bitch! I didn't get in!
And he's just screaming now. And his mic is just completely cut out, but he's still screaming. Bro, crying is not gonna fix this. Screaming is not gonna fix this. You sitting there doing this, it's just stupid. Kai and the CIA got a flawless victory on this one. Son, you've streamed 12 times in the last 4 years. Okay, I'm gonna fact check this real quick, because if so, then that's just kinda... This is a graph of the years he streamed, 2024, 2025, and 2026. And the green is...
That can't be. No way, that can't be. No way.
the days he actually streamed. And it seems like
this bitch ah. This bitch ah. Streamed for 4 total times. Follower game, by the way, 0. Put the fries in the bag, homie. This would, like, if this was my thing, this would be mostly filled out except for a few days. Wow, that's rough, buddy. That's rough. Hot take, most tattoos are ugly. Most tattoos are ugly. I agree.
he only streamed for a few times, yet he expected to get into Streamer U. Like, that's just straight up dumb. And it just makes you even more dumb to get a Streamer U tattoo. Like, once again, why would you do that? He probably thought the tattoo would have given him like an extra boost. Indeed.com. It's really not that deep. W. Kai Sinat, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Some people just have to learn the hard way, I guess, but this is just stupid. What did you expect?
Dude, chill. Dude, chill. 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 It's fine. It's fine. There's something better out
Destroying
there.
his room over Streamer U. Is that the dude's mother? If that's his mother, then I feel bad for her. All because you didn't get into Streamer U. You're trash.
Is that the dude's wife? If so, I feel really bad for her.
In your room and screaming. Once again, just because you didn't get into Streamer U, that doesn't mean you should crash out.
There must be something. He must be plotting something, or it might just like.
Planning what?
This might not be your destiny.
Bro,
You
get
might
the
have a better
fuck out
one.
of get the fuck out of
You
my
might have a better destiny. Let's think positive.
bro. Shh.
This man has a silver play button. If this is a real play button. And you're crashing out over that. You are already pretty much an established creator. Yeah, nah, get these people help. Actually, no, don't give them help. Asylum immediately, right away.
Let's think positive.
Once again, Streamer University is not that deep. You don't need to be over here crashing out because you didn't get in. Oh, I didn't get in. Oh, I didn't get in. Oh, do what I said. I didn't get to stream you. Kai, give me a chance, bro. Give me a chance, Kai. I've been streaming. I've been crying, man. Insert like sob story that someone's gonna give, so Kai picks them. Then when they get into Streamer U, they're just not gonna like really do anything with it, and they're just gonna go to the same spot that they were in before they went to Streamer U. Like, this is stupid. This is actually stupid. You're a grown-ass man. Get a grip. You also had the NPC Miles Morales guy that used to do the...
No, don't. No, don't. Hi, Zoom. How you doing? Everything well? Oh, no, don't. No. No. Please do not. Please don't. Do not do this. Do not do... No. No. No.
TikTok lives crying since he didn't get into Streamer U. And it's crazy because he made the transition to Twitch streaming a few years ago. He used to be just on TikTok. That's where you would see him doing the voice lines of Miles on the street. But then he switched to Twitch because those are like two different platforms when it comes to streaming. And since then, he's actually done many things. He was on Kai Cenat's Mafia-thon every night to entertain the stream, and he was also gifted a car. But I guess this wasn't enough, and he's begging Kai to get another chance. After all those chances he's had, he wants another one. And this was his first video, which he's crying and saying he just has to do more.
I just want to say, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Everybody who thought I would get in.
This man is crying. I still told you it's both, and you still forgot it. It's both. It's both. It is both. Probably the capture card damaged the laptop or the USB port, right? And now it doesn't function properly unless I plug another USB hub, and that's it. Now I need to wait until Wednesday.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, bro. I love y'all, bro. We didn't make it in, but we finna just go use this shit as motivation, my nigga. This shit finna be mad fucking motivation, bro. We finna go hard this year. We finna go crazy. You know, shout out to everybody who did get in the Streamer U and is finna go crazy and finna take off, bro. I know y'all finna take off. I know I be back and forth with this whole I want to be me shit. I want to do this shit, and I be doing this, bro. But it's like real shit, bro. I know I don't get paid to be me, bro. I don't get paid to be me, bro. I know that Spider-Man shit pays, bro. So realistically, until we get paid to be me, bro, I know that, like...
Which I will say, some people might cook him for this. Crying for Streamer U is kind of crazy. But I will say, I understand his point where he's saying that he's not being paid to be himself, because he built his platform from acting like Miles Morales and like having that personality, and he's playing this character. And when it comes to him actually being himself, he's not getting as much as if he were to do that. But I feel like when you compare that to, like, let's say other people's lives, like let's say some people, they got to wake up 9 to 5 and stuff like that, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 at all. But some people with the 9 to 5, they would kill to have a position like this where they can wake up and act like Miles Morales and get paid. So it's like
fair, absolutely fair. The thing is, like, we're all playing a role to a degree, right? You're probably not gonna do certain things on stream that you would do anywhere else. Like I'm fairly certain, right? I'm fairly sure that that's the case for most people. So like, but like, most of the time, I think, you always play some form of role, and that's, I guess, fine for the most part. I'll be real, that's okay. Could be worse.
don't be ungrateful for what you have. And also, you always got to look at stuff as glass half full. You get paid to create content acting like Miles. That is like, that's cool. That's a cool thing. You can burn out from it, definitely, but I just don't think that you should be ungrateful for that, you know? But let's keep on watching.
I just gotta do everything, bro. I gotta do everything, all right? I gotta stream, bro. I got a YouTube. I got a TikTok, NPC, bro. I got an Instagram, bro. I gotta do everything, bro. I gotta be everywhere, bro. and we going up, bro. We using this shit as mad motivation, bro.
Which I think a lot of people, hey, if you didn't get in, use it as motivation. Just keep on streaming. Don't crash out or anything. But in the next video, this is when NPC Miles started crashing out.
Bro, on God, this is why I don't talk to y'all in this community, bro. This is why I don't fuck with this community, bro. This is why I don't fuck with y'all niggas, bro. Y'all can dead ass 35,000 niggas watch me, bro, but not tune into the Switch, bro.
That's just how the internet is. Thousands of people will watch your stuff, but it's like when it comes to streaming is completely different. Some people don't have the time for it. Some people just aren't interested in it. For my case, right? I stream on Twitch. Some of y'all may not know that. Some of y'all may. Now, on my Twitch, I get like 20 viewers, sometimes 30 viewers, you know, on a good day. But I have hundreds of thousands YouTube subscribers. That doesn't always translate to other platforms. And
So here's the thing. The problem is that we have an issue with discoverability on Twitch. Whoever has the most viewers is also on the front page. That's a reality. We don't need to argue for this. If your goal is to grow on Twitch, you will fail. Unless you're like outstanding, you will fail. That's a reality. People don't want to hear that. I deal with this a lot in VTubing. There's people out there who they stream on Twitch. They don't do anything else. Not gonna get anywhere. You need to be on multiple platforms for this to work. Except if you're on YouTube, you can do multiple things on YouTube as well, right? But if you're on Twitch, you have to post stuff on YouTube. You have to post stuff on TikTok. TikTok is probably, though, the most unreasonable because TikTok viewers are notoriously known for not really translating well to other places. Twitch is basically a place where you take your YouTube community, right? You take your YouTube community and pull it over to Twitch. Technically, that's how it's supposed to be. That doesn't apply to everyone, of course, but yeah. It's the same with Shorts, by the way. Shorts viewers are also not consistent viewers.
that's just how the internet is, which I think is okay.
1,000 niggas watching me, but ain't nobody dropping a sub, ain't nobody fucking showing love, bro. Y'all niggas steady be in my stream talking about some, why don't you express yourself? Why don't you talk about real shit, bro? Talk about this, talk about that. And when I talk about this, bro, y'all be trolling. Y'all dead ass be trolling me, bro, all the fucking time, bro. That's the internet. People troll all the time. And that's just how viewers are. People cook on my forehead all the time. I don't take offense. I'm not over there like, oh, stop talking about my forehead. Why are you doing this? There's no point to do this. And once again, you had all these opportunities with Kai, but let's just keep on watching. Bro, what's wrong with my community, gang? For what? And Kai, nigga, you know they finna troll worse, bro. You know they finna, oh, you ain't making it in the stream of you? Damn, this nigga ain't making it in the Clover Boys, and he ain't making it in the stream of you. Damn, you ain't living in the mansion, bro? What happened? Kai don't fuck, these niggas don't fuck with you. God damn, bro. Fuck, man. It's not that deep, bro. Especially since you've already had opportunities with Kai. This is what I mean by it just sounds like he's ungrateful. And while once again, I understand what he's saying, how he can't be himself and stuff like that. But crashing out like this isn't gonna solve anything. Sitting there complaining, it's not gonna solve anything. It just sounds like this man is ungrateful. 1,000 subs every night, bro. I help you get your 1,000,000 fucking subs, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. If I don't get into fucking streaming you, God, bro. If I don't get into fucking streaming you game, bro. I'm finna break in that bitch or something, nigga. You finna let me in there, bro. You finna give me a chance to be me, bro. You finna get to know the real fucking me, nigga. This is just crazy. You're gonna break into it because you didn't get in?
That is the reason, likely, why you didn't get in. This exact reaction is the reason you probably did not get in. Yeah, Zoom will play games normally. But yeah, that's the reason, likely, you did not get in. That's the whole reason. There we have it. That's the reality. That's why you didn't get in.
Streamer U is not that serious. If only people treated real university like this. No, I'm joking. Okay. Look, I can't say that because I dropped out of college. You know what I'm saying? This is just crazy. How are you going to get mad at Kai for not picking you when you've done so much with him? You were on his stream every night. You got a car out of that. And I know you're saying that like it doesn't pay to be yourself, but hey, life could be worse. You know what I'm saying? Don't be ungrateful because there's so many people who would kill for that position that you're in. Here's another video.
So it's official. I didn't get into Streamer University.
Oh my gosh, she didn't get into Streamer University? Ah! What's her name? This woman, no!
I know, because the accepted and my name wasn't called. What meant for me is that I never received any type of email. I didn't get a confirmation after applying. Congratulations to everyone who got in. But I also wanted to share my experience because I know there may be other creators who are wondering what happened to my application.
I'm gonna be so honest. I don't think anyone's wondering that. Like, I don't mean to burst your bubble or anything. I know I sound mean right here, but I don't think anyone cared. I think like the world would have kept spinning even if you didn't make this video. But I digress. Let's just keep on going.
Now, was I disappointed? Of course. I would have loved the opportunity to be a part of Streamer University. But I also had to remind myself that one opportunity does not define me as a creator.
Is this someone's mom? Okay, I'm not trying to sound mean or anything. Is this someone's mom? I would feel kind of weird, like hypothetically, if this is someone's mom. Like I'm just thinking in my case, if my mom was like applying for Streamer University, I'd feel ashamed. Like low key, I'd be like, yo, what are you doing? Like please stop. Leave it for the youngins, you know?
I created Sugar Ain't Free, where I bring the humor and the truth. And I created Now What Did We Learn? I'm still going to create. I'm still going to go live. I'm still going to build this community.
Which is good. I think that's a mindset that most people should have. Hey,
Then do that. That you were able to do this. You were able to do this before Streamer University as well. Why do you think you can't do it now? That's like my whole issue. I'd rather become allergic to hydrogen than listen to one more of these people complain. I swear to God. They're incredibly ungrateful. Like, the thing is, like, we also have to be, like, in parts realistic. Right? We have to be realistic here. You're not everyone will get in there. That's just a reality.
if you didn't get in, just keep on making your stuff. Like, hey, if you get in, cool. If not, cool. It is what it is. A lot of people, they just want to quit their jobs and stream because they see that that's like the popular thing. And don't get me wrong, like it would be definitely cool to do that. Begging Kai for this opportunity and getting into Streamer U, like, it's never gonna work that way. And I feel like the people that are quitting after they don't make it into Streamer U, when they just stop creating content as a whole, they didn't really enjoy making content in general. Like, I feel like that's really all you could say. I felt so bad for Yoatzi. She really wanted to go to Streamer University. Keep streaming, girl. Don't give up.
Ain't nothing to play with. But thanks to all the haters, I know
Bro, it's not this serious, gang.
It just feels like it was for nothing.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel like a lot of these people don't even like streaming. They're just doing it because it's popular. I know I said it already. If it feels like you did everything for nothing,
I really think it's not that deep. I agree, it's not that deep. I'll be honest, it really isn't. I've recently heard the dumbest saying ever: don't aim for the moon because if you miss, you'll hit the sun. That is the dumbest saying. Wouldn't that be even better? Anyway.
if this was what you were working up for, if this is your end goal, this is just a dumb end goal to have, genuinely. Like, it really is. Sitting here and crying isn't going to do anything. And it's funny because the comments, is this like Monsters University? Gotta touch grass, Yotzi. Can we like apply to a real universe? I mean, I understand, but y'all already have a big platform, man, so it really shouldn't be this deep. I don't know, that's just my opinion. There's too many people that felt entitled to go to Streamer University because they streamed for long hours and they've been streaming. But it's like, I don't think you should ever feel entitled to go to this thing. If you really like streaming, continue to stream, man. Like, I just don't think it's smart to sit there and like cry and complain and be like, oh, Kai, f you, because you didn't get me into Streamer University. You know what, Kai?
Agreed, though. That's true, though. I agree. Of course, right? You shouldn't expect to get in. You just shouldn't. I don't even know how you get to the conclusion that, like, yeah, they have to let me in, right? I have to get in. No matter the cost, I have to get in. I'm like, no, you don't. This is not the end all be all. You can still continue normally. Most big creators have never gotten into Streamer University. It feels like they're just trying it because it's the easiest way to get in.
Hate you. You didn't pick me for Streamer U. I f***ing hate you. Kai, I'm crying. You're making a grown man cry. Fake university where a bunch of creators create content. You didn't pick me. You're making a grown man cry right now. That's what a lot of people are doing. It's like they're trying to guilt trip Kai into putting them into Streamer University. There was even this dude I saw crying because Kai had auditions. He just didn't get in, which I talked about these a little bit the last video. Not everyone should be a content creator, but this is just stupid. I'm gonna play the video.
Oh, my cousin G. Cassidy, you weird as fuck. Oh my cousin. You're weird as fuck, dude.
Wait. Kai Cenat is weird as fuck, but you're over here crying because you didn't get to go to Streamer University auditions, but Kai Cenat's the weird one. Yo, I'm telling you, if there was like a real university, this man would be nowhere near close to giving this much emotion, man.
Why the fuck would you have the audition without me? Why?
Then punching the phone. I hope this dude is just clip farming. Honestly.
Yeah, he probably is. I think most of these people are just clip farming, I'll be honest.
Okay, yeah, if you're crying over this, you're just a waste of space. Okay, no, that sounds me. I take that back. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, guys.
You said that. You said that. You cannot take it back. I mean, in content creation terms, I guess they are. See, if you didn't get into Streamer University, there's two options here, right? There just is. Your content is not that good. Or bad luck. That's the only options, right? Because if you're that outstanding, you probably get in, right? If you're that outstanding, you probably get in. Because, like, even people that are homies with Kai didn't get, quote-unquote, homies with Kai didn't get in. So I'm like, your content's probably not that special.
That was like somebody over there. You see them? Yeah. No. That was someone over there, bro. Big ball of sadness. Ooh, this so funky. That gulp stank. Bro, who even are you? Yeah, I don't know why this man is crying. My experience at the in-person Streamer University application.
Oh, the ugly cry. That's so bad.
Why are people so entitled? This is insane entitlement. Is it not?
I'm coming up here because as bad as I want this, bro, like, as bad as I want to go to Streamer University, I feel like awareness needs to be spread because, bro, I just want to talk about me and my experience going to the Streamer University.
Awareness needs to be spread. Look, I know this is going to sound what I'm about to do is going to sound very mean. Yeah, some people might say I'm a D1 hater. Look, okay, yeah, I'm definitely, you know what I'm saying? I'm not shy of that. Shit, I'll say it. Yeah, I be hating. This girl dropped this video and people decided to look or when she last streamed because, hey, she's at these auditions and stuff. She wants an opportunity. And when you pull up her stats, it shows that she didn't stream for a whole year. And it's funny because her most recent.
How did you get in there? What did you expect? This entitlement. From a physics perspective, no one is a waste of space because every particle is 99. Yeah, empty space, I guess. This person is married. Oh god. Poor guy. Poor guy. Poor dude. Anyway, regardless, you were not. You are what we call here a seething VTuber. You are on the same level. You don't do shit and then expect to get stuff for simply existing. I'm sorry, but entitlement is not going to get you in there.
Stream was when Kai came back and was doing the announcements for Streamer University. But prior to that, she didn't stream for a whole year, yet she expected to get in. So you can't sit here and be like crying, yet you weren't even streaming. You just expect Kai Cenat to be your savior? That's the problem. Some people genuinely think Kai Cenat is their savior. Kai, please, you're gonna lift up my life and do this. Look, don't get me wrong. Kai has put a lot of people on when it comes to streaming, but he's not your savior at the end of the day. Only you can save yourself, man.
I know everybody else want it as bad. I know other people call out of work. I know like other people had to sacrifice and do things to be there, but I can only.
You didn't do anything. Like it was said, you didn't do anything. Nothing was achieved here. Hi, London. How you doing? Everything well? Hello.
Speak for myself. Like, I'm just so angry because I was so close in the line. Got there at 6 o'clock in the morning. People were already
6 a.m. up to go to Streamer University application. I'm sorry, I would never do no shit like that. Look, shout out Kai Cenat. I'm not doing that shit. You expect me to wait in line, get a chance to speak with Kai Cenat? Yeah, fuck no. Who do I look like? I'm a human being. I am not.
Bro, I'll listen, okay? I would just, like, handpick a few people that I think make interesting content, right? I'll set anybody in, like, fucking... So what I would do is, I just fucking open up, like, a Google Doc or something. People can put their channel links in there, and then I just, you know, I would just ball at this point. I just would, then look through them, right? Have people check them, look if they have interesting content and just add these people, regardless of channel size, popularity, whatever. Good to go, problem solved, right? But these people are like, oh, I haven't streamed for 1 year and I want to get in. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Great, fantastic. Love to see it. Fucking love to see it. I have not yet, Landon. I have not yet.
Not gonna wait in this badass line to talk to another human being and sit there and dance in front of him. Hey, pick me, pick me. Hey, if Kai likes my videos or if Kai likes my streams and he picks me, cool. If he doesn't, okay, you can sit with that.
Which was insane. I mean, if you want it, you want it.
I can sit with that, I'm gonna say.
You're gonna get it, you're gonna do whatever it takes, understandable. Met people, they allowed me to cut. People were cutting anyways. Because obviously people want it, or they want to meet Kai or whatever the reasons are for. They obviously want to be in the front to get in first. So I was out there meeting people, making connections. I was grateful for that. But it was starting to get closer to time. First of all, people were passing out. My thing is...
Passing out over Kai Cenat. This is actually insane. But she goes...
Michael Jackson. Fair. The Beatles. Fair. Fair. Kai Cenat. I have questions.
I want to just talk about her experience standing in the line and stuff like that, and she didn't get in, and that's why she's crying. And I just find it dumb. I just find this stuff dumb, man. This video is just cringe. New streamer university rules: principal equals Kai Cenat, rat. School bop equals Yana with the peach emoji. Popular loner equals 00 pits. That's this guy. This guy just put himself in. Class clown equals stable Ronaldo. Mogging teacher equals Marlin. Homework equals IRL streams. Yeah, I'm gonna be so honest. You should just delete the internet and seek employment.
Yep. Here's something funny, right? Well, since we're talking about streamers being interesting. Extra Emily now as a show. Yeah. Extra Emily. Yes, that annoying I can't drive Extra Emily has a show on Hulu now. They've platformed much more successful and more talented people on there, or like, right, in shows, right? And they still failed. What makes Extra Emily believe that she stands any chance? What makes Extra Emily believe that she stands any chance?
Holy shit, bro, this guy has a shiesty mask on too. Why is he trying to look like a demon? It's funny because one of the top comments says, "You're sweeter than grandma's cookies." Like, come on, man. This is just too much. And I also wanted to add this clip in this video of what Bruce was saying, the streamer Bruce, drop him off. Because I genuinely feel like this is, a lot of people need to hear this. This is what I was saying in my last video. Not everyone can be a content creator. Everyone should be a content creator. I don't think everyone should just quit their jobs to start creating content. It's just not a smart thing to do. And no, it's definitely appealing online because that's what you'll see. You'll be like, oh shoot, this person has this and this because of content. But I just don't think it's the smartest. But this is what Bruce had to say.
Oh bro, we need more doctors and lawyers. Gang, there's 30-year-olds applying to streamer university, and that's no diss. That's no diss to anything like that or to anybody trying to chase their dream. But when you break it down, imagine if your grown ass parents was applying to that shit. How would that make you feel?
I would feel terrible. If I saw my mom waiting in line to meet Kai Cenat, I would disown myself from the family. Hey Kai, please let me in.
The thing is actually quite... the thing is, though, that's a major problem. The thing, why people are not doing regular jobs anymore is because those regular jobs do not pay. That is a harsh reality, and that just becomes that will become slowly a bigger problem. The reason why people are aiming for content creators is because they see, for being content creators, because they see content creators everywhere making bang, right? These other things, you do not no longer make bang, or less and less bang. Simply put, it's that simple. How was your day, Pocket? Pretty good. I got KFC for later, so that's nice. Aside from that, still have issues with the USB port. It's not functioning the way I want to, but I can't really do much. So yeah, now we're stuck the way it is.
My parents, but if y'all were doing that, y'all would fail. Y'all failed me. Genuinely.
On the real note, it'll make you feel like they failing in life, right? Like you would look at your parent and be like, what the hell your old ass doing? I'm supposed to look up to you. You ain't showing me if you ain't got no college degree, what can you show me? Other than, and you can't tell me to go to school. You send your grown ass over here applying to streaming university. So when you look at the world right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a lot of people sitting on their ass waiting for something to happen. Waiting to get chose.
Which I agree.
So here's what you should do your normal stuff as usual. Do the content creation stuff on the side. If it pops off peak, you can continue that, right? You can go all in if it works, right? But if it doesn't, then it is what it is. You can continue doing it. Maybe it becomes like a little side thing that you know, brings in maybe like a little bit of money and joy and stuff, right? Totally perfectly fine and cool, right? But if it doesn't pop up, it doesn't pop off. And you move on. You move on. I desperately need to answer my question. We don't need to answer because it should be about over.
I think that's a lot of what these people are doing. They're waiting to get picked for Streamer University, and if they don't get picked, they just drop streaming. And then some people, they're waiting to get picked, and that's all they're working for, Streamer University. They don't get picked, and then they're like, damn, well, let me wait again and wait again and wait again. And it's like, let's say they eventually get the opportunity, they're gonna realize that opportunity was not as big as they might have thought. There's gonna be a lot of people that go to Streamer University this year, a lot. They go there and they'll probably pop off while Streamer University is going on, maybe a few months after, and then just die back down to where they used to be at. Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just don't think it's smart to just sit there and wait for Kai to give you like I guess the green light for your career to spike. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think it's dumb. Too many people are waiting for an opportunity. Too many people are crying over this, screaming over this, getting mad, being weird because of this. And I just don't think it, like, is it really that deep? Too many people are just trying to be a streamer right now and just a content creator. And if you genuinely enjoy it, then cool, whatever. But like, there's so many people that don't actually enjoy it. They're just doing it for the money. And when they don't make money in a certain period of time, they're like, yeah, I'm just going to drop it because F this. Like, it's...
That reminds me a lot of the VTubing space, right? We have plenty of people that they start VTubing. They spend like a few thousand, by the way, like 3, 4, 5, 6,000 on the model. Stream for 2 days, realize it doesn't work the way they wanted to, and graduate. And they'll never make the money back. It's hilarious.
Never that good. And it's like, hey, cool. Like, less people doing the shoot. Hey, more room for me. But I just don't think people should be acting out like this. Grown-ass woman in the streets protesting because Kai didn't pick her for Streamer University. I would have never thought I would have seen this in my life. Crying and breaking their room and shit because they didn't get a Streamer University. Lock the fuck in. You are a grown-ass man. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All that being said, this is going to wrap up the video. If you guys made this far,
yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. So, to summarize, these people are mentally ill to a degree. So mentally, it's either mental illness, entitlement, or you are an established creator. You do not need Streamer University, and you're still crashing out, which means you are probably very greedy. Anyway, yeah, I'm 33 and I do YouTube as a hobby. I'm 25 and I do it for the love. I do it for the love of the game, and also because I kind of rely on it as a student. Anyway, there's really not much to say here. Like, really not. Anyway, me take quick break. I'll take a quick break. I'll feed the cats real quick, and then I'll be back. And then yeah, we'll continue with the next thing. But yeah, first, I need to definitely take a break. I will be right back. Gaze, hello. I'm back. All right, hold up. Hold up. Can you react to the Bat DS racing games next? I think I haven't added that because I was stupid. To be fair, I think I haven't added either of the two that you asked me to because I'm stupid and I forgot. Anyway, this video has lowered my general intelligence. Was there even anything there? I'm addicted to watching TikTok live stream. The TikTok addiction. I'm addicted to reels. Okay, now I think we're gonna watch some drama. Then we're gonna do the Pipkin Pippa clips as well. Or then we could get the High on Waffle. First, we'll do the High on Waffle video. Then we're gonna do some drama. Then we're gonna do the Pipkin Pippa clips. Hey, I'm Waffle. Was it? We add that right away. Cheese. The cheese of truth. Which one? The one that's 23 minutes? Because my guy has a 2-hour and 22-minute video. Which is which? I think you mean the one with 23 minutes, not the one that's 2 hours. The rage bait is crazy. If that were the case. That'd be insane. That'd be massive. You know what else is massive? Anyway. The cheese of truth. Immigrants cause cancer. I love that clip. It's absolute cinema. Anyway, I've added it now. So yeah, let's do the Bat racing games, and then we can do the other one. Do not hit me with the Pippa. We'll do the Pippa after that. After the drama, do the Pippa. Oh, haven't we tried to react to this channel and the video was rather interesting? Anyway. Let me remove the videos that I've watched. Because there is a 3-season VTuber crash on. Still waiting. I hope you watched the Fat Electrician video this stream, but you do you. Slowly but surely. Careful. Anyway. Bad DS racing games by Hey I'm Waffle. We're gonna look at this. This is recommended. And yeah, I don't know what to expect, I'll be real. For bad racing games. Anyway, we're gonna look at that. You are Ned the CEO. What are you yapping about? How could I be the CEO of sex? I don't have any! Anyway. Here's where I would put my sex trophy. If I had any. Anyway, we're going in. Also, please consider subscribing. I appreciate it. Let's look at some... He's just playing racing games. He's literally just playing racing games. This will literally give me the exact same vibes. He's literally just playing Nah, I'm not that interested. Sorry. I'm not interested. Nah. So it literally end up like the last one, the previous one. Nah, I'm not that interested in this one. Nah, not really. I really am not. Sorry, I really am not. This is not my thing. That is not my thing. For sure not. That is not my thing. I'm not really into that. That's not really my thing, sorry. If it were like a top list of like bad racing games and showing off how bad they are, but if he's playing them, I'm not really that interested. Sorry. I really am not. I'd rather watch something else. I'd rather watch something else. Sorry. What about the tri-state tornado? That is more interesting. That is more interesting. That is way more interesting. That is way more interesting. Let me see. Damn, 38 minutes of tornado. That is more up my alley. 38 minutes though. 38 minutes. That's a long one. Very long. Let me click on something so my list resets. Let me reset my list. Okay, yoink. That is more up my alley, but that will take a while to get through. Huh. That is a long one. But fine, we can do that. That's a really long one. Anyway, sweating like a piggy, by the way. It's still warm and it stays warm, by the way. Which is really uncomfortable because, reasons. Anyway, we can do that, then we'll do some drama, then we'll do the Pippa clips, and then probably stream is almost over. Anyway. The 1925 Tri-State Tornado, America's deadliest storm. Probably still nothing against what's happening on Jupiter, by the way. By Tan Man. I'm not gonna say the full name. You can see it. Anyway, we're going in. I have no idea what this is about. I don't know much about tornadoes, so there is that. So yeah, we're gonna have a look-see. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're going in. Storming. Whoosh.
I am terrified of tornadoes, even if I don't live in an area prone to touchdowns. I live in West Virginia, and we do get some. The deadliest one to hit us was an F4 tornado on June 23rd, 1944, way before my time. This one was bad. It claimed the lives of over 100 people, but most of the
That's a lot of people. I will take over the tri-state area with my Tornadonator. Sure. I wouldn't. That would probably cause some issues, I suppose. But sure. Do that. Take it over with the Tornadonator. That reminds me of the burger video where, like, all these burgers, right? The fucking Tomatonator, the Bustinator, the Lily-pad.
time, tornadoes in West Virginia are tiny, short-tracked EF 0s, 1s, or 2s. Despite this, I am still terrified of them. If we are under a tornado watch, I'm on edge for the entire duration. Although I am terrified, this fear also comes with fascination. I am deeply interested in these storms, particularly older ones that shape the way we now view tornadoes. And while I don't want to say I have a favorite tornado, as that feels incredibly disrespectful to the real people killed by these storms, I definitely do have one I am the most interested in. And that is the 1925 Tri-State Tornado. This thing was a monster. It touched down on March 18th, 1925, and tore a 217-mile-long path across 3 states: Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, breaking several records that remain in place to this day. The longest track, the longest duration, and, unfortunately, the highest count of fatalities in the United States. By the time it was over, 695 people would lose their lives, and thousands would be injured.
Still a lower body count than Bonnie Blue.
Despite all of these facts of longevity, there are no photos, no videos, nothing.
Well, obviously, because it's 1925, nothing, you could just pull out your phone. It's like, yeah, here, storm, look at it. That was unfortunately not a possibility. Unfortunately, but it's true, it was not a possibility back then. Well, now it is, but let's hope that we never get anything like that again.
To let us know what this storm looked like. We only have witness descriptions. So what did they say it looked like? Nothing like a standard tornado.
You may have that image of a funnel cloud shape in your mind, but the tri-state tornado was a wedge, a massive dark blob, colored black by the sheer amount of soil the winds picked up. Many people who saw this thing didn't even realize it was a tornado until it was far too late, leading to that higher fatality count. All of this.
Wait, so they essentially thought it was just really dark clouds. Is that what it is? Is that what it basically breaks down to? They just thought it was really dark clouds. Huh, that's unfortunate.
And many more facts combined makes this twister the one I find the most interesting. And today, we're going to do a deep dive on it. From how the United States viewed twisters in this time, to its deadly track across all 3 states, and finally, discussing the ones left behind to put the pieces back together. Let's begin. At this point in American history, tornadoes were not being taken seriously. In 1887, the word tornado was banned from all weather forecasts, as it was believed that mentioning the word tornado would cause a panic far worse than any damage an actual storm would do.
Well, how wrong they were. How wrong they fucking were, I suppose. Bad decision. Terrible decision. We inform you that the tornadoes are actually more deadly.
Keep in mind, most tornadoes,
much more deadly. We inform you that this is the case.
At any point in history, typically touch down in an empty field, kick some dirt up, maybe toss a few cows around before dissipating. Tornadic fatalities are rare. Tornadoes with a casualty count above 10 are even more so. But it wasn't like the United States at this point were complete strangers to deadly tornadoes. On May 6, 1840, a tornado struck Natchez, Mississippi, claiming the lives of 317 people, at the time, record. On May 27, 1896, a deadly F4 tornado touched down in St. Louis, claiming the lives of 255 people and doing $12 million worth of damage. A modern-day equivalent of $5.9 billion, which still to this day has the record for the costliest storm. Finally, on June 6, 1899, a tornado hit New Richmond, Wisconsin, killing 117 people. While all of these storms...
Oh yeah, but it causes more damage. Sure, buddy. When is panic and hysteria killed over 100 people at one point? That probably is a very rare occurrence. Probably more rare than any tornado probably killing anybody. So, wow. Wow.
Storms were dangerous. They were also sparse. They were over a period of 59 years. Meanwhile, look at how many smaller ones hit in that same time frame. A total of 2,762 tornadoes. Of this total, 5,397 people lost their lives. And those 3 tornadoes represent 12.77% of those fatalities. Of the other 2,759 tornadoes, they averaged a fatality count of 1.71, under 2 people. So deadly tornadoes are sparse. Very few people were concerned about the prospect of a massive deadly tornado. So, if one happened to hit, well, to say the American people wouldn't be prepared would be an understatement.
Well, of course you wouldn't be prepared, right? Who would be prepared for something this rare, right? Who would be prepared, right? Like, damage to infrastructure? Sure, absolutely. Killing people? If it's like not even 2 per storm, per tornado, that's, yeah, right.
March 18th, 1925. A day a part of that transition between winter and spring where the weather almost feels perfect. One of those days where you step outside and aren't immediately hit in the face with a cold front. It felt nice. Sure, a few clouds hung in the sky, peppering the land with rounds of drizzling raindrops, but no one was complaining. It was far better than snow. In the town of Redford, Missouri, located in Reynolds County, a man named Sam Flowers headed southwest into the larger town of Ellington on his horse, Babe. Ellington was the largest town in Reynolds County, and Sam arrived here at noon. The town was bustling with workers on their lunch break, just like any ordinary day. Sam did dodge some increasing rain as he rode into the town, and as he was about to head back for his home, he noticed the wind was picking up, raising to about 30 miles per hour. On the horizon, he saw ominous clouds begin to coalesce in the sky, which was his key to get home. He left Ellington at about 12:30 and headed back for Redford. As he rode his horse through vast empty plains, the wind picked.
Damn, eventually Burr might have been riding a Pegasus at this point. Eventually. Because that does not sound fun. Damn, back then they still were around on horses in 1925. On the horses.
Up, as did the rain. He was also pelted hard with hailstones, which made him pick up his pace. Occasionally, he'd look behind him and watch as the dark clouds turned black. Before, at around 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, a wedge-shaped funnel cloud dropped from the sky, landing on the ground as it chased after Sam. Now, he knew it was a tornado, but he couldn't clearly make out that funnel cloud. The sky was a void, and the intense rain, wind, and hail wrapped around the tornado, hiding it. Sam raced hard on his horse, trying to escape the storm. He was in the middle of nowhere, stranded in a field, and even considered riding back to Ellington to seek shelter. It was at this moment that a piece of timber smacked him in the back of his head, killing him instantly. Meanwhile,
well, how would we know about this? Obviously a made-up story because, well, dead people can't report on anything.
Back at the Flowers home in Redford, Sam's wife Mary, their 4 sons, and 3 daughters watched as the horizon darkened, fearing a storm was on its way. And one surely was. Mere minutes later, they were huddled in a corner as the wrath of God bore down upon their home. The entire house was shook in the 70 miles per hour wind as raindrops and hailstones pelted the building. Then, just as fast as it came on, it ended. The Flowers family stepped outside to see that their house mostly went unscathed from the storm. Tons of trees and other foliage were scattered all over the place, but the entire family was unharmed. They were worried about Sam, but assumed he took shelter elsewhere. Their fears were reignited that evening when Sam's horse rode to the house by itself. But in the moment, the rest of the Flowers family could only watch as the storm traveled east, barreling straight towards Annapolis. Sam's body wouldn't be found until 4 a.m. Little did they know, he was the first person to be killed by the tri-state tornado, and by time it was over, an additional 694 people would share a similar fate.
Well, that's unfortunate. Quite bad luck getting hit by a piece of wood and instantly getting nuked. How's the video poker? Interesting. That is just unfortunate. At least his family was safe, more or less. That's probably going to be really hard without a dad around.
The town of Annapolis was on the rise. In 1919, a lead mine had opened up that dug 450 feet into the ground. This brought in workers from the surrounding counties and states, and 6 years later, 9,500 people were living here. With this influx of new residents, tons of restaurants, homes, and stores popped up, ensuring Annapolis was very well off.
Well, they probably eventually weren't around anymore, considering that, you know, this big boy went through. Why did you kill him? I am not responsible for tornadoes, last time I checked. I'm not the Chinese.
On the day of the fateful event, no one was expecting a tornado, but they were beginning to notice an oncoming storm. Winds picked up, and children outside of the Annapolis school were tossing their hats high into the air, watching the winds carry them further and further away. Meanwhile, in the main part of the town, citizens were finishing up their lunch and headed back to work. To the people of Annapolis, this was another Wednesday, but the children at the school would notice it first. As they continued to play in the strong winds, they watched across the horizon as thick clouds began to cast dark shadows. And, in an instant, the sun vanished. The children were ushered back into the school, and survivors would later describe the scene, claiming a dark red cloud was rolling over the horizon, originally believed to be a dust storm. We now know that the tornado was picking up tons of iron-rich soil in the area, giving it that dark red hue. It was at this time that the rain began, followed closely by hail.
Honestly, you'd probably be most safe in a big building like a school. I mean, sports halls were used as well to hide. So there's that. But
It pounded against the school building. Chunks of ice as large as potatoes pelted the brick walls as the storm continued further. People in the main part of the town saw this red cloud as well, and again believed it to be a dust storm. By the time they realized it was a tornado, it was far too late. Men were pulled from their cars and shoved against the ground. Buildings were torn apart in seconds, and Annapolis suffered against nearly 70-mile-per-hour winds. The storm only lasted for 4 minutes, but it was a very deadly 4 minutes. The school took minimal damage, due to it mostly being out of the tornado's path, but the rest of the town suffered bad. A man named W.E. Limley was eating lunch when the storm hit, and the restaurant he was in was completely obliterated by the storm, tossing him out of the...
Imagine you just doing your nom nom at a restaurant, and then you just get fucking obliterated.
Building as it went. He survived, and when he returned to the restaurant, his lunch was left on the table, completely untouched. By the time the tornado was over with, an astounding...
Bro could have just continued nom nom. Bro could have just continued eating. Well, that's outrageous. That's... Okay, bro, that's crazy. Come on.
90% of the town was wiped out entirely. As the storm waged, the men down in the mine heard what sounded like a train running directly over their heads. Soon after, the lights shut off, leaving them underground in pitch black darkness. Once the noise overhead ended, they came out of the mine to see what was going on, only to be faced with what could be described as a war zone. Their town was gone, replaced with strewn piles of debris and toppled over power lines. They were just hit by the tri-state tornado. A telegram was sent to the nearby town of Arcadia, informing them of what happened. However, the officials here assumed the storm was like most tornadoes.
A nothing burger. They probably thought it was a nothing burger, and nothing really would happen. Well, too bad that they were wrong, and everything would actually happen. Pogo, why did you cause the storm? I did not. I'm just a normal little guy, Croc. Can you add? Yep, I have added it. This time for real.
A short-track storm that was now over, so no other towns in this path were warned of the storm. This, obviously, was far from the truth. The storm was growing stronger, and was about to cross into its second state.
Alright, now we're in Illinois. Okay. Let's hear it. I am the storm.
Illinois was the state hit the hardest by the tri-state tornado. Of the 695 people killed by the storm, over 600 of them lost their lives in Illinois. If we take a look at the tornado's path, we can see it spent the majority of the time in the state, leading to these higher figures. After the tornado
I mean, yeah, right? So when it started out, it probably wasn't that as worse as it was to begin with, right? It probably reached its peak somewhere around here, right? And then obviously towards the end, it's not surprising that it died down right here. So like this is fine. But it probably, obviously, here didn't cause too much damage because it just started. Here probably was at its peak, as usual, I'm assuming, and then here nothing much happened again, I'm assuming.
Towards path through Annapolis, it crossed the Mississippi River into southern Illinois, destroying a few small homes as it went. It was on track to hit the city of Gorham, and at 2:15 p.m., the town suffered a direct hit. At this point, a woman was working in a restaurant in Gorham when she looked out the front windows to see what she believed to be the smoke of a raging wildfire roll by. Then, the rain, wind, and hail all hit at once, pounding on the creaking frame of the restaurant as gusts of 70-mile-per-hour winds blew against the foundations, before the entire restaurant caved in. By this point, the tri-state tornado was 3/4 of a mile wide, and it wasn't slowing down. Its next target was Murfreesboro, a massive town in the area that had grown in recent years to be
massive town. I'm assuming this is also where most of the death happened, the dying happened. I'm assuming that is not what happened. GT, no Croc. That's also what has happened.
Become a coal transport spot which housed over 10,000 people. At the Longfellow School, children on the second story huddled in the corners, far away from the windows, as they watched the white clouds turn dark, followed by the loudest crack of thunder they had ever heard, like God himself had just clapped his hands together. Students looked out the windows and watched an ominous
Thor, God of Thunder, strikes again. Damn, GT. Maybe I am that good. Maybe. Who knows? Ask Stomachs directly.
black-green cloud barrel straight towards their school as they all began to pray. As the storm grew closer, the teachers decided to usher everyone down into the basement. The 3 stories were evacuated low, and as they went, the tornado hit the school. Almost instantly, the roof of the building was peeled away, and the frame began to buckle from the weight. This was too much for the brick building, and it collapsed in on itself, crashing down into the basement, where all 3 stories of students were currently.
Yeah, no wonder that like this many deaths, right? Probably a lot of people were stored in that building, right? It was in the basement, and then the building collapses. No wonder.
Seeking shelter. Meanwhile, the storm was headed for the Mobile and Ohio Railroad Yard, and a worker here crawled inside of the piston cylinder of a train, hiding there as the storm hit. He said the engine rocked back and forth, and debris smacked against the cylinder like mighty cannonballs. Meanwhile, other workmen took cover wherever they could and yelled for their friends to do the same. Like the trenches of the Somme, these men hid and watched as their friends were struck and killed by loose rebar, bricks, and other bits of debris. The storm continued along, but the damage wasn't over, as what remained of Murfreesboro, which wasn't a lot, was now on fire. Embers from restaurants and the machine shop spread all over the place.
Damn. So, we know what danger it is when tornadoes combine with fire, because that can indeed happen. Right? Or heavy fires can cause strong storms, so there's this. That doesn't sound too good. I'm back from doing thing. What is this video about? A monster storm in the US.
Setting the town ablaze. Many men who were now stuck under debris couldn't move their bodies and were forced to watch as these fires grew bigger, and some, unfortunately, were burned to death. By the time this was over, 234 people in Murfreesboro lost their lives, the most of any area affected by the tri-state tornado. Those who were alive stepped outside to see a city reduced to ruin. Everything was gone. Detached limbs hung from still-standing trees, and objects were wedged everywhere. Here, you can see a massive wooden board that was flung through a tree.
Damn! Yeah, that tree looks fucked now. Wow. Okay, that's rough. Damn. That went right in there.
This was caused by the tri-state tornado, and is still on display at the Illinois State Museum. Survivors recounted how a voice came from afar. A young, injured boy was yelling to them, screaming, "The Longfellow School, it collapsed!" And they followed the boy to see the gruesome sight. And the survivors of the tri-state tornado began to unbury the trapped children, finding survivors and victims alike. By now, a familiar sight was taking place across all 3 states. Children were outside of their schools, tossing their hats high into the air and laughing as the picking up winds carried them further and further away. And now, the same very thing was happening at the DeSoto school. By time 3 rolled around, the children were back in class, but were hardly paying attention. Instead, they too peered out of the sky and watched as it darkened. Whispers of a storm were all the conversation. Similar talks were taking place across the town. Sheriff Deputy George Bollard studied a similar sight. The clouds ahead of him were thickening up, and they seemed to be standing still. Bollard wasn't sure what this was, and he stepped out of his car to get a better look.
Well, it's like, it's literally curiosity killing the cat, though in this case it is humans. There was a tower in New York that was not designed well and was at risk of causing a domino effect. They had to fix it with just a few weeks before hurricane season. Wonderful. Well, not really thinking this through, but what do you even expect?
He was then picked up, thrown through the air, and was never seen again. No trace of the deputy was ever found. The tri-state tornado had just arrived at DeSoto. It was at this time that teachers at the DeSoto school watched their curtains blow rapidly in the winds. At first, it was enjoyable. A nice breeze filled the classroom. Then, the rain came, and the teachers asked the boys in the class to go close the windows. Across all 3 stories, the ones who were asked to do so stopped to stare out the window. They were transfixed by the sight. Thousands of pieces of debris were blowing in the sky. Shards of sheet metal, branches off of trees, shattered planks of wood, everything. And they watched this sight for too long, as all of the windows in...
Well, no wonder. They got obliterated, right? All of the windows probably exploded immediately. Stuff was flying in. You were probably turned to Swiss cheese at that point, right? Especially if we're sitting too close to the windows.
Instantly shattered, killing every young child who was just asked to go close the windows. The storm at this point was nearing its full strength. A mile-wide funnel cloud surrounded by dark clouds of rain, hail, and debris, traveling forward at nearly 70 miles per hour. As 203-mile-per-hour winds bore down upon anyone or anything unlucky enough to be caught in its path. The storm was, like many cities, over in minutes, but the devastation it caused was paramount. A survivor would later come out.
Not really surprising, is it? Basically, they bolted the beams instead of wielding them, like the engineer designed. Plus, the engineer didn't factor in wind from corners. I think this actually just breaks down to we wanted to save Munya, and so we did. That's really what it is.
Outside to see the devastation and the death that surrounded him. He wasn't sure what to do. He'd go to one victim who needed help, just to hear the pleas from another victim. He had no idea who to help first, and would later say, "It seemed that I was the only one alive." The storm traveled further east, wiping out multiple small communities. A large iron bridge stretched over the Big Muddy River was severely damaged by the storm, blowing it 6 feet off its foundation. The small village of Bush was hit, and shards of wood were fired into the town's water tower, sticking in it like oversized spears. 10 people would instantly be killed here, and 4 others...
More dead people, wow. Hi Parasaur, how you doing? You're doing well. Wonderful. Well, not that they're dead, but like the fact how unprepared they were for this, because simply the government didn't care enough, right? And they thought that how do you put this? the panic would probably do more damage than the storm ever could is very interesting. That is very interesting. Storms like these need to made illegal. That's like having no knife zones. Not really helpful at all.
Would die from their injuries. It continued along the rural outskirts of Franklin County on a direct path to West Frankfort. While the storm was tearing across Illinois, the men of West Frankfort were working in the mines like any other ordinary day. However, even though they were underground, does not mean they were safe from the storm. The tornado hit the northern part of the town, where a similar layout to Murfreesboro was present. It was made of densely populated neighborhoods and businesses.
It rained a lot, so here's my theory. It probably flooded the mine. That's what I'm thinking, right? Or make the mine so unstable, it started crumbling. It started, you know, falling apart. Either that or lots and lots of water.
And the storm hit it hard. Meanwhile, men were working down in the New Orient Mine number 2, and noticed something was wrong when their lights began to flicker, before they completely shut off, leaving them deep in the earth in total darkness. Then, they heard the winds. But to them, it sounded like the world's largest train was currently rolling directly overhead of them, after which, the wind blew in through the mine, and all hell broke loose. Tons of dirt and dust were kicked up by the winds, choking the miners down here as the pressure drop knocked them to the ground. Some of them began to be pulled to the top of the mine as the entire foundation shook from the powerful 300-mile-per-hour winds. The I-beams supporting the mine shook and bowed from the winds, and some feared a total collapse of the mine in on the workers trapped down there. Luckily, this did not happen, and the workers were able to come above ground to see a field covered in debris pile. That's what the city of West Frankfort now looked like.
It appears that they were still pretty safe down there, though. Not 100% safe, but it could have been much worse, it seems. My usual territory is the Midwest, like Wisconsin or Illinois. Well, this happened in Illinois.
Entire above ground was leveled, and untold devastation plagued the city. One man was crushed to death when a bull was picked up and dropped 25 feet down upon him. One man came back to his house just to see most of his car was now gone. Only his radiator was left behind. Across the entire field that was once West Frankfort, chunks of coal were scattered, like massive black hailstones, due to the tornado hitting transport carts and scattering it far and wide. In fact, mining operations here would never resume. The company behind them decided to cut their losses and abandon the city. Tons of people were impaled by debris, scratched up, and otherwise gravely injured. It wasn't just humans either. One rooster was said to have been found stuck in a tree. The winds were powerful enough to pick this rooster up before plunging it beak first into the tree.
No fucking way, bro. They play chicken dart? Outrageous, bro. What? Fucking chicken dart. Bruh. No, that's just horrible. Who would do such an atrocity? That's just horrible. That's just... Damn. I wouldn't want to be this rooster. Damn.
Lodging it inside so far that it couldn't get itself out. The rooster was still alive, but a total of 21 people would lose their lives at West Frankfort. The tornado barreled ahead, destroying Caldwell, a small mining village. 43 people were killed here as the storm traveled to the small town of Parrish, completely wiping it off the map. An additional 33 people would die here, and the entire town was wiped.
How the fuck did that people okay, right? It is not. It's tragic that they died, right? Again, because people were just significantly underprepared for this because they weren't taking it seriously. Motherfucker, how did that rooster survive?
Wiped out, never to be rebuilt. It was like this for the rest of its track in Illinois, hitting small settlements without any care in the world, giving us that earlier figure of 600 deaths across the entire state. However, the storm still was not done. It had one more state to impact before it could receive its title as the Tri-State Tornado. And as it widened to a terrifying 2 miles in diameter, it crossed into Indiana at about 3:15. At around 3:20 CST, this
now we're in Indiana. How much damage did it do there, right? Most people died in Illinois, right? So here we go. I'm curious.
Behemoth of a storm entered its third state to make it the Tri-State Tornado, and Griffin was its first stop in its final state. Griffin was located on the Indiana-Illinois border, sitting right along the Wabash River, and the citizens here were already on edge. The skies over the river into Illinois were a murky gray, signaling that a storm was on its way. And unfortunately, the citizens of Griffin were more right than they'd ever want to be. As the day stretched on, a rolling black fog appeared on the horizon. To some, its appearance was majestic. To others, they described its resemblance to an evil figure from the New Testament. Perhaps both descriptions were apt. The entire town was hit by the tornado, now at its peak intensity. 2 miles wide, a forward moving speed of 73 miles per hour, and with wind speeds peaking at 300 miles per hour.
Bruh, that's crazy. And that isn't even like storms that are even the most scary, right? There are even scarier storms out there. Right. It's probably not the worst storm ever, which is interesting, right? I wonder what the worst storm ever in human history is. Well, that we have experienced. Certainly, storms back in the Dark Ages were much more powerful than this, but it is rough. It is rough. Wait, is this where Indiana Jones lives? Wasn't Indiana Jones named after like a dog that his dad owned?
This thing was a monster. No other way to describe it. As the storm hit, a man named George Westheiderman was working in his blacksmith shop, and it was instantly destroyed by the storm. Hot coals and molten metal spilled all over the floor, setting the place on fire as his multiple sharp tools became projectiles wielded by the wind. George was shoved against a tree, and a pipe picked up by the storm was thrown through his left arm, pinning him. After the storm was over with, George pulled himself free from the pipe and hurried home to see if his family was alright. Griffin was gone. It was a more rural town, so a ton of oak trees,
I guess. Well, now the question becomes, did the people somewhere, right? Did he still find his family or not? But that must be quite painful, right? Getting impaled by this, right? Into your arm, right? But honestly, probably still less of a worse fate than all the others. How the hell? Hold on. Hold on. How do you know this? You haven't even seen those movies? I've seen all the Indiana Jones movies. Yes, even the 2 worst ones. The last 2 ones. Even the fucking crystal thingy. Horrible movie, by the way.
trees were felled and knocked all over the place, blocking every single road. As George made it home, he saw one of his neighbor's houses was destroyed, and a piano fell through the top floor, crushing a young girl on the bottom floor, losing her life.
Bruh. No fucking way. That's rough. It's almost... It would be tragic if it wasn't so comical, you know, with the stereotype of people getting crushed by pianos. I guess real life art imitates real life.
By the time the storm was over with, over 60% of the town of Griffin was dead or severely injured, and the town was 100% destroyed. But just because the Tri-State Tornado had left Griffin did not mean their troubles were now over. Being right on the river, while a constant downpour of rain hit the surrounding area, meant the water was about to rise, and the surviving citizens of Griffin were about to deal with a flood. But we will come back to that later. Now leaving Griffin, the storm headed for Owensville at its peak intensity. This town...
Never mind, peak intensities here, right? Okay, wow. The last one was the Disney one. Yeah, the one with the time travel. I'm that much. I'm aware.
Didn't stand a chance at all. It was a tiny rural village staring down the barrel of Satan's whirlwind. Owensville was purely a farming community. About 85 farms made up the area, and all of them were wiped out. The only remaining trace of Owensville was the gridwork of barely identifiable roads. Unfortunately, once the storm was over with, a baby was found in the streets and was never identified. After it left Owensville, Princeton was next on its path. Much of the southern part of the town was destroyed, and 38 additional people lost their lives as the storm slowly came to a close. It crossed into Pike County at about 4:15 p.m., and 15 minutes later, the storm was weakening before it finally dissipated at 4:30, right outside of Oatesville, Indiana.
That's quite unfortunate. How well the storm really didn't disperse at all, right? It just kept going. It at least just destroyed half of the city, but that's obviously not helping, right? But still incredibly deadly. But that's pretty much it. So now we're probably going to talk about the victims and people seeing this shit, I'm assuming. Hi Lumpy, how you doing? You be doing well. Hello.
The tri-state tornado was now over. For 3 hours and 45 minutes, the tri-state tornado tore through 3 states, carving a 217-mile-long path, killing anyone it ran across. 695 people lost their lives, and 2,000 others were severely injured. But this kill count was initially estimated to be in the thousands. The United States had seen bad tornadoes before, but this was in another league. Complete and utter devastation was seen across these 3 states, doing $16.55 million worth of damage, a modern-day equivalent of $309 million. Now that the storm was done and over with, all there was left to do was to pick up what was left and put it back together in any sort.
Well, that's all you can do, right? That's really all you can do, right? You can't just rebuild. What else would you do except rebuild? You can't really do anything else but rebuild, and so they did. They rebuilt. That's all they could do.
The survivors could. You'll have to forgive me, as I decided to get sick right when I needed to record the final part of this video. At 4:55 p.m. CST, the offices of the Chicago Herald and Examiner were calm. 5 minutes later, everyone was running all over the offices as journalists scrambled to head out the door. The first telegrams reporting the tornado's damage made it to their desk. For the next 2 hours, recovery efforts would begin. News reporters headed out to the affected areas to study the damage and to capture photos for their paper, while others began to organize relief efforts.
It's interesting that we have no photos, though. Like, no real photos, at least, right? That's very interesting that we don't really have these. You know? Because, like, that's something you definitely, like, expect to have, especially for something that's, like, this rare and this uncommon, right? Since it's probably still the worst storm, apparently, from what he said. So, like, you know, you'd expect something, right? You'd expect there to be a massive storm, and massive, right? It's a massive storm, so like you'd expect there to be any photos of it, at least the aftermath being there, right? The massive aftermath. Well, we haven't actually seen this much destruction, right? Like we have seen some destroyed areas, but I wish there was more to see. Right? At least that's what I expect.
For the ones affected by the storm. President Calvin Coolidge would be told that evening as well, and he immediately donated $100 to the Red Cross. a modern-day equivalent of about $2,000. He encouraged every other American to do the same, and said he would not go see the damage himself as he felt he couldn't really do anything there, and an appearance would simply be political grandstanding. At 7 p.m., the first train was beginning to be packed. 3 hours later, it left, filled with 250 people who had no idea what they were headed to. Sure, they knew a tornado hit, but they didn't have any idea how bad the devastation really was. Other trains would be gathered up and sent, but they ran into problems on the way there.
I mean, fair. Well, you wouldn't expect that again, right? You wouldn't really expect this to happen, right? That's not something that you'd be willing and wanting it to happen, right? You wouldn't see that coming, usually. I'd assume, at least. Did you add the Mars? Yes, I did. Again, I did. It's added.
Tracks were blocked by downed trees all over 3 states. So, they had to move slowly, and men would ride along with chainsaws and ropes to remove the trees as needed. The night of March 18th saw a rapid drop into the low 30s. As thousands of people braced against the chilling winds, they had nowhere to sleep but open fields. And not many people slept that night either, as every overhead rain cloud and rumble of thunder, people would gasp in fear, with fears that another tornado would touch down. Some people during the tri-state tornado entered a full-blown panic and just ran and ran and ran until they passed out from exhaustion. Illinois would be the first state to send the National Guard, followed by Missouri, and finally Indiana. Also, citizens living in other parts of all 3 states got the news overnight and in the morning of the tornado, and they too got in their cars to observe the damage. This caused a lot of traffic in the surrounding areas. Unfortunately, some people took this as an opportunity to start looting. People would dig through debris to find anything.
Classic. I mean, at this point, who even cares about ownership of things anymore, right? Stuff is just anywhere, so this, I guess, like, fair finders keepers at this point, but, like, morally still certainly still questionable. Understandable. Unless you're not one of the victims and you just want to take profit out of this. That's a different thing then.
Of value. It was even reported that one man was stealing the ring off of a dead woman's finger, and he was straight up shot and killed for this. Doctors across all 3 states were treating people in these open fields, reminding them of the trenches of World War I. Makeshift morgues were also set up all across the place, as bodies were carried here for later hopeful identification. One Red Cross nurse described how she arrived on scene and someone approached her, holding a human skull, telling her they found it and weren't sure what to do with it. As these people stumbled around in the dark, they began to step on nails and other shards of rusty metal, developing tetanus. The stock of vaccine quickly ran out.
Well, that sucks. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Ew. Well, that probably spread like a wildfire. I'm assuming. Sure, Zoom. But to be the CEO of sex, you would need to know what sex is. Which I'm pretty sure this character does not.
And getting more out here would be a challenge, as it had a short shelf life and needed to be kept refrigerated. So, 2 pilots volunteered to bring it in. 750 vials of the vaccine were loaded into an airplane in Indianapolis and was first transported to Carbondale, and then Murfreesboro in the first ever medical emergency flight in the United States. It wasn't just the wind that people had to worry
For straight up blicky warnings later. Pretty much. I added Croc Rock, I just don't know if I'll watch it today. I've definitely 2 videos I have to watch today still.
about, as the tri-state tornado posed many threats to people. And as we alluded to earlier, the waters of the Wabash River began to rise in Griffin. After the oppressive rains of the tri-state tornado ceased, countless thunderstorms still rang out across the Ohio Valley region, leading to the waters of the Wabash River to rise. This was a problem for Griffin, Indiana, as they were only 6 miles away from the Wabash. As we mentioned earlier, the town was hit hard and was almost completely wiped out. There was only one building left standing, a 2-story house built by German immigrants. The survivors of Griffin came to this house to live for a while, as they watched the waters slowly rise. Supplies would get to the town, and several tents were set up across the area. But the waters of the river would not slow down, and roads in the Griffin began to be washed out. In addition to this, some of the bridges were sitting right at water level, and debris carried by the river brushed against these bridges, damaging them. It was feared they would be completely washed out, so supplies were stockpiled inside the town should the survivors become stranded. These fears were accurate, as the remaining parts of Griffin were completely flooded, and an evacuation of the survivors had to be carried out by boat.
Yeah, no wonder, right? That pretty much makes sense, right? So I'm not particularly surprised that this happened, I guess. But yeah, not really. Not from what I can tell. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting, I suppose. It's a bit, how do you say this? I don't know. They were so underprepared simply because the government was like, yeah, actually, I don't give much of a shit. Like, that's really what it is.
They left their home, and some wondered if they would ever come back. As this took place, communities across the area came together to help any way they could. This even stretched across the entire United States, as $1.5 million, a modern-day equivalent of $28 million, were raised through the Red Cross. This money was put to good use, as the injured people were treated and communities began to rebuild. Carpenters, bricklayers, and electricians all came from the surrounding areas to rebuild these devastated areas. Well, most of them. Some of them were deemed far too gone and were mostly abandoned. The best well-known example of this was Parrish, a town in Illinois, whose name became ironic. It was wiped out by the tri-state tornado and was never rebuilt. This was a pretty rare case though, as the surviving communities all did come together the best they could to get their lives back on track. So while you may think the tri-state tornado is just a story of total devastation, it also shows us that humans will always come together to look after one another.
The thing is, while that's true, nowadays I partially even disagree. Yeah, people come together, or well, they try to come together. We know that the government doesn't. Never. It does not really anywhere, right? We had an issue where we had massive floodings, right? A while back, right? Which obviously the government didn't come for help. They didn't help anybody. You just were fucked at that point.
After the unimaginable affects us all. $695 people. That's how many were killed by the tri-state tornado. And unfortunately, 1/3 of these deaths were children, killed as their schools collapsed against the strong winds. The final death would occur almost a year after the storm, when on January 3rd, 1926, Gervais
Somebody died from injury?
A. Burgess, a coal miner from West Frankfort, died due to the injury sustained by the storm. As we started this video off by saying, this tornado holds so many records. The most deaths in the United States, the longest track at 217 miles, and the longest duration at 3 hours and 45 minutes. It's close to the highest forward moving speed as well, at 73 miles per hour.
Wow. That's crazy. That's outrageous. Right? That's outrageous. Of that My Turn I requested that like weeks ago. There are no turns. There have never been any turns, and then it will never be turns. I have 2 more videos that I will definitely watch today. It's that simple. You still don't learn.
The highest verifiable speed is 78 miles, coming from the 1974 Guin tornado. All these facts, and yet there is still so much we don't know. The biggest factor being what this storm looked like. This is the most baffling thing to me. There are no photos or videos of this thing. Videos kinda make sense. The oldest tornado video would come 8 years later in 1933, but the oldest videos date back to the 1870s. But what doesn't really make sense?
Well, why would you expect, like, the thing is, like, why would you expect, you know, anything like that, to be fair? Why would you expect that, to be honest? Videos, right? It's the 1920s.
Sense to me is the lack of pictures. The oldest pictures of tornadoes date back to the 1890s, and we have tons of photos of tornadoes from them until the 1930s. So why wasn't this thing that lasted for 4 hours and 200 miles not photographed? No one thought to stop and take a photo of this thing as it moved on? Well, part of the issue of not having a photo is due to the fact that the tornado gave no warnings at all. The weather forecast for that day said probable rain. No clue that a tornado would hit. The word tornado was banned from weather forecast at this point too. And after the storm hit, were tornadoes suddenly taken seriously? Did we do anything to be prepared should something of this magnitude hit again? No, we didn't. It wouldn't be until 1950 that we started to take them more seriously. 25 years later. But due to our advances in tornado forecasting, it's likely that the tri-state tornado will forever keep its deadliest title. Let's hope so, at least. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like hearing me yap...
Well, that's pretty much the end of the video. That was a long one. So to summarize, this whole thing happened because pretty much nobody was prepared for it. That's pretty much what happened. Nobody expected this to happen. And that's how we got here, right? These people sadly died because nobody expected this, right? They essentially banned the word tornado even from weather forecasting. So there's that, and that's that. Wow. And now the question is, will there ever be another one like this? That can be, right? Actually, I'd argue there can be, right? With, you know, the world getting a bit more, how do you say this? Rougher every year, right? It wouldn't be surprising, honestly, right? We have more heat waves than ever, right? More storms that are, while they aren't as devastating as that, the average storm is getting more devastating, right? More flooding. But, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But instead of working to prevent, or working to be ready, we try to prevent when we cannot prevent. So there's that. Anyway, that was an interesting video. Now, some drama. Because I can. And because I will. And then we'll do the Pippa clips. And if then there's something still left, we'll do still something. But this one's actually peak cinema. That's why I need to watch this. We already have tornadoes, and they're called... Yeah, but they're not, I guess. Do they take more lives? I don't know. Maybe they do, actually. Who knows? What do I know? Maybe they do. maybe they do. You know, maybe. You never know, right? You never know. I need water. Me need water. Me need water. I like water. Water is nice. Anyway, right. We're gonna look at this. So I did part 1 of this. This is part 2 of this whole disaster. And trust me, it is peak cinema. It is absolutely peak cinema. Right? This is part 2. And it's peak cinema. Because I've never seen a VTuber, a woke one, respond, right? With a fucking voice message on Twitter. I've never seen it. Yep, she's crazy. The ref video will go in. This title is long. I won't read it out. That's outrageous, man. That is just outrageous. Oh no. Oh yes, Sarmax. Oh yes. Anyway. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hello there. Little mortal. Anyway. Oh yeah, Nani. I love Nani. She's great. Anyway, we're going in. Also, please consider subscribing. I appreciate it. And yeah, you're gonna see horrors beyond your comprehension because there are indeed horrors. You're gonna see it.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So all I can say to start off this video is that it's another massive day for the unemployed. I have some big updates regarding this video I uploaded a few days ago talking about some VTuber drama where the main protagonist made a bunch of posts virtue signaling about no words being said on the internet, and it ended with, well, more virtue signaling, but also a cringe-inducing voice memo where they tried to mock all of their critics, claiming they've already lost. Now, since this video, the main person in question here, Nitha, didn't seem to be a big fan of the video. In fact, they tagged me directly in their Twitter post.
Of course she wasn't too excited about that. It is crazy, okay? This chick started beef, by the way, unprompted. Right? By the way, classic OnlyFans girl, right? So, well, Fansly girl. Fair. But still the same thing. You get the idea. At the end of the day.
Thanking me for validating their existence. You're welcome. But they also said, if I make a video about someone, they must be a good person. And also, they said that the bigoted hate cults is trying to dogpile them. The bigoted hate cult, that's you, the viewer, apparently according to this individual. But beyond that terrible post, they're also now resorting to flexing their view counts and trying to essentially own the haters with how successful and amazing they are. Totally not insecure at all, by the way. But before we get into the new stuff, here is a quick recap in case you missed the previous episode of Dragon Ball here. It actually began with a different situation. There's some drama in the league scene.
So as usual, we have the classic, right? Pretty much the classic of VTuber model equals pred. Right, the classic thingy, the usual, right? You get it at this point, right? I think you get it, right? It's the classic. The voice of consent, right? We had the rib cage of consent recently as well on Twitter. Yes, the rib cage. It's very interesting.
Right now, where people are going after this VTuber for saying words like the dreaded R slur. Now you can see two different reactions. One from the VTuber Nani, who clearly doesn't have an issue with this word. But then we have Nitha, who has a big problem with this word, trying to deplatform people who say that, and also added in that people like this VTuber are using fake baby voices and they believe that they are predator baiting with their content. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the high-pitched voice of consent. But she wasn't done. Nani would make a completely unrelated post thanking her viewers for showing up to her streams, and then Nitha would jump in the replies saying, have you ever thought about shutting the F up? Now later on we would see that Nitha would claim that she was simply defending herself even though she jumped into a...
The more I look at this, the more I realize that this lady started, right? This beef unprompted. By the way, a beef she could not win. This was a beef she simply could not win. It just was. Outright. It just was a beef she started that she simply was not able to win. Which is crazy to me. Right? There was no way she could... She did it for the love of the game, honestly.
Completely unrelated appreciation post to start the fight, but... nevertheless, it would end with some pure, unadulterated cringe, where after several crash outs, they would drop, really a first, I think, in the history of this channel, a voice memo.
Now, I know some slur slinging, pick me, is not on a moral high ground pretending to be better than me because I do.
Still, I'm wrong. I expected this to be a man, but it was not a man. Which is very unfortunate, because that would have made it even funnier. Anyway, it's hilarious, right? This woman calls Nani's fans, right? Insults, right? Which is interesting, right? Considering that she has an OF, the thing literally, or Fansly, the thing literally for those type of people, right? Because if you can be with women, I highly doubt that you would be paying for Fansly. That's just me though. That's just my opinion.
I'm an adult and I do not say for work content. Honey, you say slurs. You're racist, you're homophobic, you say derogatory slurs for attention with a lolly model to be pedo bait. Honey, there is no comparison. You've lost. And all of these chronically online edgelord incels are going to come white knight you when they see these posts. But just remember one thing. You know who your target audience is. You got them already. We both know what you're doing.
Talking like this in your voice so people watch me and find me interesting? Retard.
I'm hearing this second time. It just gets more cringe. Right? This is the second time I'm hearing this, and it just gets more cringe. It was really cringe earlier. It just get, honey, you say slurs. I was like, oh no, she says retard. Wow, terrifying. The world crumbles.
Really, you got a hell of a personality there. I'm really impressed.
What is this with this goofy evil voice at the end? What is this? Like, I asked this for the first time. Why? Why would you do this? What is it? What is this? Why would you put this there? That is embarrassing. I'm sorry, but it is. I'm like, what is this with this evil weird voice? There's no reason. This laugh, there's no reason for this to be there.
So like I said earlier, I think that is a first on this channel when it comes to VTuber drama. I've never seen a voice memo left, let alone one that cringe, but of course I posted my video and she felt the need to respond to several things being brought up, including comments that she made where she claimed that Nani sounds like she's fat based on the tone of her voice, where she would specify saying the weight comment was a low blow. But my intent was more so to point out that her hateful audience would lose their mind if they knew she was heavy. I do feel wrong for even bringing it up. I'll give you that one. They feel so bad about it, but they did it anyways and now justified it again in this post. Also, it just reeks insecurity. Like, this is total projection. You're saying that her community would leave her if they found out she was heavy? Like, no, that seems like that's your own insecurity and you're just projecting it onto her. And it was a low blow and it was completely irrelevant, but let's get to the main response here. She directly called me out on Twitter, saying I feel so validated.
Oh no! The horror! He was called out on Twitter! The horror! The absolute the fear, the horror. So scary. Oh no. Whatever will people do?
You know you're a good person when this dude at Rev makes a YouTube video trying to get more of the bigoted hate cults to dogpile you. I don't know what's funnier, them absolutely mauling over me, being unfazed by their crap talk, or all of them being memed by my voice memo. Is this person serious? Well, first of all, I'm glad I could validate your existence by covering the situation. I don't think it's that deep, but, you know, I'm just doing my part. But also, they're saying if I make a video about someone, they must be a good person. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Chief. You're
I don't know about that, because, you know, that crash out, that might have been in the category for legendary at this point. Like, I swear to God, this was a new one, right? This was just straight up just a new one. It just was the horror. Well, yeah, true. But, like, come on, bro. That was just not it. That was just horrible. Like, never cook again. Never do this again.
Day crash out, calling people predator bait, and also trying to deplatform people over no-no words, and just crashing out and being a general nuisance is not exactly evidence of you being a good person. And also the bigot hate cult dogpiling you. You have 11 comments on this post directly tagging me, not to mention the 18 likes. Brutal. But also, it's just like, if you're so afraid of this hate cult, why are you directly tagging me on Twitter? Like, very deranged behavior. Like, I think someone wants a little attention, but that's okay. Attention you shall receive, because I guess you really like the validation, so there you go. But you can see also, they're saying everyone was being memed on by the voice memo. That was an unironic voice memo. You were just seething that hard. But of course, I'm lucky. She left me a voice memo as well. And guys, it might actually even be worse.
Oh god, no, no, this is crazy, no. I feel no. Oh no, no. No, there's no way. This is a real chat. Remember, this is a real human being, right? This thing lives and breathes. It can vote. It has the allowance to vote. Right? Oh good, no, no, this can't be real, no. That's just outrageous, bro. Like, no, come on, no. No, oh god, I'm not ready.
Worse than the previous one.
This is an outrage. She's supposed to protect her tweets.
I can't with these people. I share the same space with these people. Because they're goddamn fucking stupid. Oh god. Lord of mercy. Have mercy, please. Just have mercy. Please, I beg of you. No. Nar. Nar. Just no. How could this happen to us?
We want to gang up on her. Believe it. I will be the next Grand Hokage. I'm so mad I'm
to die. I want death. Just give me the sweet embrace of death. Please, I beg of you, just give it to me. I want it. I asked for nothing else but this. I'm in tears. This is so cringe. This is so pathetic.
Arthur fisting. I want her to feel like a whore. She needs to feel like a whore. We're racist, but we want her to be sad and mute her account so we win. Yeah, hate will prevail.
Did you guys want any more villainous monologues? I got a bunch for you.
Boy howdy, what a knee slapper, ladies and gentlemen. Totally not unhinged, and all I ask is...
The great heck. No, this is not the Hack Kage. This is the Hokage. This is the Hokage. Right there. It just is. Oh my god. I've seen does this fall into the category of man-made horrors beyond our comprehension? I think it might. I think it actually does.
Your further responses, could you crash out a little harder? Because I'm starting to lose interest on this whole situation, so at least make this one a little more interesting if you want this back and forth to continue. But she wasn't done. It's not just whining about me, but also flexing how insecure she is by flexing her numbers. Someone saying 4 hours later and you got 8 comments and 10 likes. You're far more irrelevant than you realize. And she says, I think I'm doing okay, my guy. And flexing her numbers from streaming, which, I mean, she does adult content, right? Like, it's kind of with the territory. Like, this is not exactly an astounding number. But in all my days of being on YouTube, I have never flexed my numbers. And everyone who does stuff like this is not only insecure, but they're just seething. Like, you're clearly seething. This didn't go...
It's also so cringe to do that. It's so cringe. It is so cringe. Average viewer is... By the way, it's so cringe. Yeah, but the thing is, the only reason why you're there is not because you're talented, but because you're... See, it's always easy to go the whole route, right? Always. That's why she's even there, right? That's the whole reason she's even there. Sounds rough, but it's true. That's the whole reason she's even getting where she's getting. That's the reason. That's the whole reason. It's all built on this. Remove the loot tubing. Would you still think all these people would stay? I don't think so.
Your way with this whole drama, and now you're trying to say, well, I'm right because I have these numbers. That's not how it works. But she wasn't done. She added in another reply saying, brother, I peak at 1,400 viewers in my streams. Is that supposed to impress me? LOL. That some bigot tried to bully me with his loser pseudo-Christian followers. I hid posts to remove clout chasing and smear campaigns. You and every other crap lord that comes to try and bully me have been repeatedly dunked on. You think anyone that watches my stream is going to take anything a bunch of slur rats?
That's because they're just there to wank their shit, and that's it. That's the only reason they're there. She still doesn't get this, by the way. Not, to be fair, none of them actually get this, right? The damage Project Melody has done is crazy.
Slur rats? That sounds like a slur. Have to say, seriously, my guy, the only people that agree with you and your hate cult are each other. Every person that heard Rev made...
It's also kind of hilarious. How can you have 1.4k viewers in your streams, but you can barely pull 4k on Twitter? That's hilarious.
A YouTube video about me after I told them the first words out of their mouth, "Oh, he's a real piece of crap, LOL. You will not win, and you have already lost. Thanks for coming back for seconds. I needed another laugh." Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen seething like this? First of all, I am very touched that you had to go to your friends and literally be like, "Look, guys, Rev, the bigoted, evil cult leader, he made a video about me." Yeah, you really do need validation, don't you? Right? Like, it's not enough to tag me.
Well, obviously. Why would she... The thing is, like, right? She already was acting arrogant on Twitter. She was essentially hiding Nani's response to her, and basically used the excuse that, you know, actually, right, I didn't want you to get more attention from me, and I'm like, but you have a lot less followers on Twitter, so this doesn't apply here.
Me, and to try to, of course, get validation through the adult content you make, you also have to literally shove my video into your friends' inboxes to be like, "Look what happened to me, look, validate me. He's a bad person." Of course anyone you interact with probably doesn't like me, and that's A-okay, but I can't imagine me or anyone else going around and having a video made on us and, like, sending it to everyone we know, like, "Guys, what do you think? What do you think about this?" It's just very pathetic behavior. But on top of that, the loser pseudo-Christian followers, I don't know what religion has to do with any of this. That seems like a not-so-woke thing to do, just bringing up someone's religion as some sort of an own, even though it's completely irrelevant. Again, if you're trying to, like, paint me as some awful, terrible person, like, please point out where in my coverage about you I've done anything that's really out of line. Like, I'm not the one...
You don't agree. That's it. You don't agree. That's logically all you need to do. You don't agree. That's all. That's all that these people need.
Going after people, calling them predator bait. I'm not trying to deplatform anyone. I'm not taking low blows at people. I'm also not calling people a bunch of names. That's what you're doing, Nitha. Like, I don't know what exactly is so upsetting about my coverage. All I'm doing is reading your tweets. If that reflects negatively, well, that's on you, not me. But as you can see, there is another flexing of the view count to start off this post. Keep a tally. It's going to increase every time she flexes her view count. And people would say in the replies, Nani streams on Kick and Twitch and posts videos and doesn't have to show her body to get views. And then Nitha, with a complete lacking of self-awareness, says, "What a coincidence. Either do I." You're trying to say that you don't post your body for content? You literally have a...
You're a fansly. It gets outrageous, by the way, right? So, she has a fansly. She has a audio thing. She has the fucking hub. Like, she's literally on the hub. She literally has it in there, by the way. What are you talking about?
Hub accounts and all these other things. It is the core of your content, and people would point this out. I mean, even in the most recent tweets, showing off her body to keep her viewers entertained. But she's not done flexing the view count, ladies and gentlemen. She adds on another quote post saying, "I learned an important lesson in the last 24 hours. Never believe what you see on here. I had what would seemingly be a successful VTuber with a large following try to dogpile her 26,000 followers on here on me because she lost an argument with me after I clapped back at her for being a bigot right after she started stuff on a post I made about someone intentionally being pedo baits. The amount of people that follow her that used images of Nazi symbols, said the N-word, despicable things was honestly disgusting.
You know, see, the funny thing is, and oddly enough, she doesn't get that, which is kind of hilarious, but not really. This is a response to what you're doing, right? See, the desensitization towards quote-unquote slurs happens because people use them for like, get outraged because of them. They cannot keep a cool head, and obviously, right, you're gonna make fun of it, because why wouldn't you?
It was shocking to see that many people are awful humans, and I racked my brain wondering how she could even be successful in this industry. So out of curiosity, after she uploaded her title saying she was streaming as a slur warrior, I checked her stream out for a few hours into it and saw she had a peak of 78 total viewers with a cringe face. With her following and the non-stop hate spam I was getting, I was sure she was around at least 500 CCV. It turns out her entire following on here is just following her to find people to hate on for funsies. It just goes to show you that you cannot judge a person's success by their social media following on one platform, especially Twitter, which is known for being astonishingly forgiving towards bigots and hate groups. Now, of course, she definitely doesn't have any motion on this platform. 32 likes, 22 comments, getting dunked on like crazy. But you can see she's not only flexing her own views, she's now mocking Nani for her view count. Now she's view shaming. And by the way, let me say this. Having a peak of 78 total viewers as a small VTuber is a great number. I literally don't understand how that's supposed to be an own. Also, for the content she's
considering how long she's not been there, right? How long she's been there or not been there, it kind of makes sense, right? That it is the case, right? But that's a pretty good number. Not to mention the content she makes, right? Doesn't get much reach in this space, because if you want to grow in this space, as harsh as it sounds, you gotta be a skin showing. You gotta be an e-girl nowadays, right? It's just a slow VTuber is now just a gateway for e-girls to get a lot of sims. That's just a harsh reality. I'm gonna say it the way it is.
Making it's a much more valuable and long-lasting fan base when you're uploading content where you're interacting with your chat, talking about various things and gaming and doing stuff like that. It has a much more dedicated fan base than someone who makes adult content. Be mad about that, it's just a fact. Okay, I think a lot of people would rather have 78 viewers that are much more interested in the person, in their content, than 500 where it's all about someone just showing off their body, right? But anyways, Nani would have an...
The moment you stop being a degen is the moment all those people would be gone. That is a harsh reality. People don't want to hear that, but it's true. The moment you stop, these people are gone, right? These people just vanquished. There's none of these people left. They're just gone. People don't like hearing that. I don't know, maybe it makes them uncomfortable hearing the truth and stuff. But yeah, the moment that happens, it's just over, right? They're just gone, right? They won't be here.
Explanation to this, and I think it's a pretty good one. Also pointing out that these numbers are pretty good for someone who's been here just under a year.
The fact that there's 70-something people that want to listen to me scream and tell them that they're fucking retarded instead of showing my vagina, I think that's an accomplishment. You know? I think that's...
True. True. It is, right? True. True, it absolutely is. That's at a 0.5% of Twitch. Yep, that is. You'd be surprised. The stats again, like this, right? The streamer bubble is just, I don't know. In general, I feel like the streamer bubble is just interesting, to say the least. In my opinion, it's just very interesting to see, right? Because there's this, like, delusional to believe that, right? that with consistently 70 viewers, you are in like a top percentage. I think that's ridiculous. But again, what do I know? What do I know?
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, again, for someone who's only been around that length of time and given the sort of content they make, I think those numbers are great. So besides the cringe of flexing views, this attempt to view shame someone is even more cringe. And you can see Nani saying, wow, she is a very normal and not insane person at all. But of course, people are pointing out, I have no idea who either of you are, but I'd rather listen to a high-pitched girl voice over the ASMR hub girl voice. And she says, by making sure everyone knows that they're not welcome here anymore, that she's totally not mad. But of course, other people are pointing out that, well, you started this whole thing and it just didn't go the way you wanted, and you're really showing your true colors. And also the cope of saying she lost the argument.
It's like hilarious, right? She can say this, but at the same time, you're getting basically asked belt to ass by a smaller VTuber. Can you really say you won this?
Meanwhile, Nytha is just getting dunked on by everyone. No one's coming to her defense whatsoever. But she goes down here saying, nah, she got destroyed and had to retweet my post to get her hate cult to do her dirty work for her. She's a pick-me grifter, with X being her only success. I'm happy you thought you ate. Oh, the TikTokification of their language. I'm happy you thought you ate with that, though. Bad people that say nasty, vile things and slurs deserve to be called out. Plenty of them are intentionally warping their voices to sound like children and say sexualized things. By the way, I promise you, they know what they are doing. How do you know what they're doing? How do you know they're putting on a voice or not? Like, what is your proof? And also, what? If someone has a high-pitched voice, that is somehow criminal or something that should get them deplatformed. Very interesting, but the final co-post is a very funny one. I guess there was some self-reflection where they say, a reminder that we're all just balls of energy existing on a floating rock in space. At the end of the day, we all die, and the beauty is we choose the meaning of our own life, not a single other MF. So keep doing what you love and don't let anyone try to shame you or make you feel bad for following your heart ever. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter if you were a mailman or a rich billionaire at the very end. What matters is...
Sorry, but no. Sorry, but no. Also, you don't really follow your heart. You follow the money. Because that's the reason why you're doing this, even in the first place, right? It's money. Because it makes a lot of money. It's an easy route to make money. It's that simple. It really actually is that simple.
How you choose to live and the experience you got out of this life for yourself. Just make sure at the end of it all, you can find peace in knowing you are a good person. Yeah, nothing says I'm a good person like constantly trying to say I'm a good person.
Anyone who ever calls themselves a good person usually never is. Right? That's just the reality I've noticed. It's always people saying, oh, I'm a good person. I don't think that is for you to judge whether or not you are a good person. I think that is for the people around you to judge whether you are a good person or not. In my humble opinion, of course, right? That is my humble opinion, but what do I know, right? What do I know?
Right. But this is so funny. Yeah, just live your life, you know? Just do what you love. Except if you say no words. Except if you have a high-pitched voice. Except if you make YouTube videos like this. Then you're a bigot, then you deserve to be deplatformed and slandered and all these other things. This is a pseudo-intellectual hyper-positivity post that we always see from these types who want to masquerade as kind individuals. We know, based on everything we've seen, the opposite seems to be the much more likely result. And I think the best course of action for this person is get off Twitter. Okay, like clearly this is not a good space for your mental. And I know you say you're laughing about everything. You're clearly seething about everything, okay? Nothing says I'm mad like saying how not mad you are. And that's what you've been doing for multiple days. A multi-day crash out. But anyways, that is the update to the situation. Just wanted to let you guys know the latest cringe and another voice memo. Great stuff. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning...
Yeah, that's the end of the video. So, to summarize the whole thing... There is still a part 3, so it gets worse, by the way. We're not gonna watch that, or maybe we will, I don't know, eventually. But there's a part 3 to the season, right? Maybe I'll watch that off screen, what do I know? But there is a part 3 to this. There's not much to say. This person, they're just beyond help. She's beyond help, there's nothing else to say. Beyond help. Anyway. And now, we're gonna do the Pipkin Pippa video, because I can. Let's do it. Let's do it. The Pipkin. Right, I haven't done a video for Shadow Clips for a while. He deserves something. He deserves something. He's such a loyal man. He deserves something. So let's do it. Let's do it. This is possibly the last video of the day. We'll see. Hide yourself of the very loud VTuber noises. Hide yourself from the very loud VTuber noises. I nuked the wrong one. Either way, fine, I guess. I can add that in again. That's fine. What did Pippa do this time? Nothing. We're just reacting to clips because it was sent in. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Clips that made Pipkin Pippa famous by Able Clips. We're gonna look at this. Somehow I've seen this channel at one point. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the Pipkin Pippa. Anyway, we're gonna look at this. It's gonna be very interesting. I actually don't watch her that much. I think I watched her advice for VTubers stream. Like the entire fucking thing. I watched that, right? The complete thing. And yeah. Her advice is great. Like the advice she gave was great. Anyway, we're gonna look at this. I probably have to move my model around here and there quite a bit, because otherwise, you know, gonna block her out here and there. So we'll see.
You're to look in the mirror and to stand as tall as you can. Not on.
Wait. Was that still back then when she was wholesome? And now she's not so much, right? When she had like this cute. Is that like the Pippa the Rippa? Right, that song? That idol song? I remember that. Is that still back in those times?
Your tippy toes, but like stand straight, okay? Put your shoulders back, stand straight, arch your back, put your hands on your hips, and look in the mirror and say, I'm a good person. I can do better today than I did yesterday. Kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me.
yeah. That was still in the cute times. Yeah, right.
Kill me, kill me, kill me. Put your fucking gun in my mouth and pull the fucking trigger!
After what I had to see today, absolutely, I agree. I probably have to move myself quite a bit.
I'm gonna fucking shoot up a Walmart! In Minecraft.
Oh, nigga, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe you got rid of that old yee-yee-ass haircut.
Yee-yee-ass haircut.
Is on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with, nigga.
Pippa.
Fair, understandable, fair. At least, you know, we don't have an N-word incident. By the way, this is so funny. This was my guilty pleasure a while back, right? Seeing Japanese VTubers say the N-word. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this came to be, but it was a thing. And it was a thing for quite some time. It was honestly hilarious. I'm sorry, but it was. Sounds crazy, but it's insane.
What? Chat, I prepared a presentation for you. Why I cannot say slurs on stream. Oh, hold on. I know you are hoping for something else entirely. You know I can't, chat. I work for a company. So here's why. Number one, I do not have the pass. In the past, Cypher has given me the pass. But I don't know if that's like enough passes to actually use on stream. 2, I'm not elite enough. 3, my mod gave me the pass. Number 1 was a lie. Yeah, I forgot to put that in there. 4.
Wait, I still can't say it though. Why does she have a presentation of why she cannot say the word?
Still can't say it. 5, management would hunt me down. 6, Susan would hunt me down. 7. Twitter would hunt me down. 8. Instead, I've set up a 5-minute waiting screen. Feel free to search VTuber GTA and get your fill. Thank you. We'll just hang out here for a little bit, chat. There's a lot of people here. It's terrible. Please go away. This is Mamakin.
Thanks for your support. Please stop talking about feet.
Okay.
Why do I feel like this was not Mamakin and just some AI voice? That's oddly specific, by the way, with feet. But then again, I've seen too many VTuber fans lusting after feet, so maybe I'm actually not surprised.
Even my mother's telling you to shut the fuck up, chat. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Are you ready? Okay, I didn't expect to hit over 5K viewers, so I'll be nice to you guys and I'll throw you guys a bone. I appreciate all the support. Be sure to check out my gen mates, my co-workers. Fuck you. Unsubscribe. Goodbye. Suck guy Nikki, thank you for the list. Congrats, Pippa. You now have a wiki feed page.
Well, that's not what I wanted to see. Moving on.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Fuck! What the fuck? What?
Wiki feet rating 5. 5 stars. Wait. She's feet mogging Hassan. Hold up. Wait a minute. Well, Shuo does that as well. Well, funny. No way. Wiki feet. I wonder if Pippa is on the, you know the website where they track VTuber experience? That one.
2 pictures were removed. Based! I don't know how to feel about this. I hate you, chat.
My mom has this tortoise, affectionately referred to as the fucking turtle by me. I know it's not a turtle, it's a tortoise, but it's the fucking turtle, dude. My Mamakin specifically, has this tortoise. The tortoise just roams the house. And every so often...
Interesting. Oddly specific for having a tortoise? Oddly specific for having a tortoise.
Often, I'll leave my bedroom, and there will be a tortoise outside my door that I will almost trip on and almost break my neck on. Every so often, he appears where I least expect him. Sometimes I'll leave my door open for good airflow, and I'll go to head out, and I'll see this lump on the floor, and it's just that goddamn tortoise invading my room. He has it out for you. He has it out for me. He wants me to die. Zamza, thank you. I like you. Would you like to go out with me? No, thank you, but thank you for the 5.
Pain! Yikes! Help! No! I could hear his heart crack right now. Focus, girlfriend. I cannot be this insane. Pippa is in the more tame spectrum overall. But she's that my heart just cracked. By the way, he donated like, what was it, $500? That's outrageous to get shut down like this. Damn. There's more. Yeah, I gotta get you chibi. Oh God, what a mercy. Screeching women. But yeah, chibi is even wilder. But yeah, I'm not. I would never date this. Oh, I'm sorry.
$100. That's a lot of money. I'm not laughing at you! I'm laughing at how strange the situation is. You could have asked that with 50 cents. I don't know what the minimum is on YouTube. $1? You didn't have to donate that much. But thank you. Thank you for the absolute fuck ton of money. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. FC Players, thank you. The worst thing she can say is no. Clippers, put me in now! That's it, thank you. Shout out to my homie, Zamza. It's a man, thank you. Hey, Zamza, I like you. Will you go out with me?
Pizza Man coming in with the save. Gorgor's poisoned my brain with lies. Poke. I need you to tell me once and for all who and if you are dating. I'm dating the apple. Moving on. Did you hear Sakana sign 6 pip? Yeah, I'm shutting off the stream. What the fuck would you mean 6? What? Nah, bro. Should I try asking someone out like that? Yes.
There we go, Zamza. But don't worry about him. He's okay. I hope so. Oh, see, he's in chat laughing. He's okay. I get a bit concerned because sometimes people... I'll be dead next week, guys. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, I get kind of concerned sometimes when I get large donations because sometimes it can be like a symptom of like mania. I hope that when you donate, it is from a place of comfort. I hope you're doing well. And if you feel like you're not doing well, I think you should reach out to your loved ones. And if you don't have any loved ones, I think you should reach out to your friends. And if you can't reach out to your friends, then I suggest checking yourself into somewhere so you don't hurt yourself. Again, thank you, Pippin. My grandmother says I don't try to ask out girls enough, so do you want to get a coffee? Either way, I fill quota. You can take your phone with my stream playing on it to a coffee shop. People of Starbucks, I have a bomb.
Pippa, I'm gonna get some water real quick. You can talk to chat for a second. Chat.
I haven't heard Phillian since she left. That's crazy, by the way. Oh god, this cannot end well.
Don't get me banned. And then we're gonna go have you be a volunteer mod for the day. All right.
All right.
Penis.
So, chat. You like saying slurs? She's gone now.
So, chat. Do you like slurs? That's crazy.
You're free to say whatever you'd like. Oh no.
Whoa! What are you trying to do?
Don't worry about it.
Message deleted! What are you
Welcome
doing?
back. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna fucking pull into the center of the roundabout? Because that'd be based. Wait, is that him? Oh my god, he's flashing his fucking... Oh my fucking god, chat. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. He's getting out! Oh my god.
No way. So, Chad, you like slurs? No way, okay? No way, okay? Do you want to know how I got these slurs?
Oh my god! What? No fucking way! Do some push-ups! Wait! Is he gonna do them? Oh my god, wait. I think he's gonna do them.
That's honestly adorable, though. That's adorable. Fair, that's adorable, honestly. That's great. She sounds like a dying animal when she laughs. It's outrageous.
You're a fucking legend, dude. Oh my god. Oh, there he goes. There goes my hero, chat. I'm never gonna forget this. I feel like I have to immortalize him somehow. Give him an emote. Should we make him into an emote? Replace image. Duende. There he is. Chevy, there you are. Hello. Wait. Okay, yeah, no, you can come in.
What's up, chat?
What's up?
Oyola?
Ayola?
Mentioned like no Papa love, Papa can love. All right, well, just want to say hello.
You want Fayola to clip you more?
No.
Every time Papakin talks about stream stuff, he's like, so I saw there's a clip on the.
I do hope the vomit drawer isn't in here. I don't need to hear this again.
That Fayola guy, Fayora, whatever his name is. Every time.
Well, you know.
I think he might be the only clipper.
Yeah, root beer
that you
fun.
watch.
Well, I'll get out of here.
Okay.
So, but I was thinking, what do you guys think? In the last 100 years, the best invention is?
Theo07 says Lego.
Yeah.
Augustonian says VTubers. Johnny Deezer says internet. Toilet.
Personally, it's the dry eraser board.
Why is that?
Because it's remarkable. Peace!
Interesting.
Jesus Christ. I hate modern computers. Bro, do you guys remember when NVIDIA Broadcast came out and the previews for it was like, oh my god, it like eliminates background noise perfectly. This is so crazy. How does it do that? God, I fucking hate NVIDIA. It's literally like when games use pre-rendered.
I hate NVIDIA too. They are purposefully harming, making the market a bit weird when it comes to RAM. Artificially.
Graphics for their videos. AAA studios are like, wow, look, it looks just like a movie. And then you boot up the game and it looks like a normal game. And you're like, well, I'm not mad that it looks like a normal game, but I am kind of annoyed that the thing that like it looked like in the trailer is obviously nowhere near close to how the game actually looks. But it's like, that's what NVIDIA does with their fucking broadcasting thing. It's like fucking...
The NVIDIA rant keeps going. Funny thing about Pippa's community is they started calling her brown now. Yeah, that one's actually not new. I know that one. I've heard of that one already. That's not actually not a new one, ironically. That is ironically not a new one to me. Hilarious, honestly. That is not a new one to me.
Yourselves. I hate you guys so fucking much. I hate modern computers, and people will complain, oh, Pippa, boomer. Pippa's a fucking stupid boomer. Get with the times, old man. Why do you want to settle for worse products when things were perfect?
True. I agree. I very much agree. Watch something fun. I think by the end of this, we're probably already done with stream big girl. So this will probably be the last video. Big girl. Biggest girl. Chunky girl. Anyway. The Pippa Ducci got brown Pippa version 2. Oh god. Oh god! Why? That's outrageous.
Perfectly fine 10 fucking years ago. What is wrong with you? Why are you so brainwashed? Why are you so happy to sit in the cuck chair while they make computers cost more and perform worse? You are fucking brain dead. You are so stupid. You have been conned by the idea that every computer should come overclocked by default with a shit ton of bloatware that supposedly makes shit run better, but all this shit was optimized for is the little fucking 11-year-olds that want to play GTA 5 with ray tracing and fancy ass fucking graphics. And if you want to do literally anything else, then go fucking yourselves, because AAA gaming is in bed with these fucking computer hardware companies, and all they want to do is vigorously jerk each other off and...
Calm down. I can feel it till here. I can feel it till here. Calm down, woman, calm down. The US military made a supercomputer out of tons of PS2s. That's why you can't get a PS2 in normal ways. Anyway, it's okay. We understand. Chill, lady, chill. I get it. Calm down. It's okay. Fine. It's you'll live, girl. You'll live. You'll survive. It's okay.
Make the same dog shit products with updated RGB and more fucking software. You are stupid. You are the downfall of this industry. You can talk all you want about how you built your own computer, but at the end of the day, the fucking hardware is dog shit anyways, and the shit you're going to be installing onto it is also fucking dog shit. Take us back to Windows 7. Return to things working just out of the fucking box. Stop with the ray tracing. Stop with the G-Sync. Stop with all of this fucking bloatware that does nothing. You are a cuck if you want this. You are getting cucked. You are getting bent over and fucked by the fucking computer companies that don't care about you.
I feel personally offended, and I wasn't even the target of this.
I don't like modern hardware. Mama Kin just walked in. She forgot my Alfredo. I think I have to kill her, Chad. Oh, you did. Wait, that's not Alfredo. That's garlic chicken bowl. And that's, oh, that's chicken Alfredo. Can you pop that in the microwave for me? Thank you. You forgot to say please, Pippa. Shut up, chat.
No Alfredo.
Whatever. That's it. I'm gonna hold your dog out the window. Wait, did I mess up?
What is she even playing that she look wait, that the character looks like her? What?
I wasn't asking you. You're not paying attention to the game. You don't even know how this game is. Shut up. Bahama, thank you. Pippa casually verbally abusing her mother. She's antagonizing me, and I am not fishing up nothing. Shh, don't yell. It's nighttime.
I don't give a shit.
Oh my god. You know they can hear.
Wow, Mama Kin is aggressive. No, he didn't. Yes, I did. We both know this at this point. You know it. I know it. We know it.
Hear everything you say.
Oh well.
Oh my god.
So they'll know.
Oh my
I don't
god.
give a shit.
Oh my god. Such crass language. Detestable. I really don't know where I get my innocence from. Perhaps Papa Kid. Why are you laughing? I'm being heckled like a real comedian.
This woman is anything but innocent. That's the crazy. That's the funny part, right? She's anything but innocent. She's a lot of things. Innocent is not one of them. Innocent is not one of them. Innocent is not one of them. Nope. 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 Hell no. It isn't.
Comedian. I'm being mercilessly heckled by an audience I didn't even want. All right, I didn't even. Found fish. I am privileged whenever you don't open your mouth.
Oh, that's it.
How do I fish?
You don't. That's why you get no fish.
Shut up! I'm trying to. I lost the fish. Tell Mama Kin that.
Bro, if I talk with my mom like that on like anywhere, yeah, I'm gonna die. Like, yeah, my life is gonna be taken. Like for real, right? My life is just over at that point, right? What do I know again? That we made a storm, both of us. We made a big storm.
Chad loves her. No, she'll get an ego. Shut up. Molly OSD, thank you. Hey, Mama Kin, is Pippa as bad at fishing IRL? Shut up. That was thank you. Shut up. Leave me alone. Pretend you guys didn't even hear anything. Yap, 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 yap. Who's the streamer here? All right? You know, I'm at work right now, and you're kind of impeding with personal matters. So if you could, like, get back to me after business hours, we can talk. If you could, like, shut up. If you could just shut up. If you could just shut up. Mama Kin, Pippa's being mean to us again. No, I'm not. Can I chop down the trees right next to the city? Can you cook my Alfredo? Femoid.
Femoid. Outrageous. Yeah, my mom is gonna send me to see Jesus. I'm gonna send you to Jesus. Yes, it was immediately, right? Immediately, right? I'm gonna meet the Lord. But hi, Knights, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello.
Gabriel Campos, thank you. Stop being mean to our mom. What do you mean our mom? Check yourself before you wreck yourself, kid.
Yes.
Yeah, your mom doesn't love you.
But someone had a stroke on a TV show in your Hot Topic shirt? What? What is this? What is the pit?
What? That's interesting. How? Yo, I wanna have merch and then end up on a TV show. Like hell, fucking yeah. It would be unfortunate if it wasn't a dying person though. If I said that to my mom, I would become comatose in an attempt to escape the verbal tidal wave of her anger. Yeah, I'm just getting murked, right? I'm just getting obliterated. That's just a reality, right? I'm just getting, right? I'm just not existing anymore.
An American medical drama television series. Okay, so they didn't act. Wait, this is an actor. Wait, this is an actor wearing my shirt. What? Oh my god! How did this fucking happen?
If a woman flirts with you, you just have to test her. You just have to be like, are you flirting with me right now? And if she says, oh God, ew, no, then it's a no. And if she says, maybe, it's a no, and she's manipulating you for her own selfish gain. And if she says yes, she's still manipulating you, but you are free to approach because she gave a very clear and explicit yes. And after she proves to you that she is not a demon harlot, you can eventually give your heart to her. Hello?
What's up, chat?
What's up, gamer? I'm talking about Off-Kai.
Off-Kai?
Off-Kai.
Never heard of it.
Liar, you told me about how you saw a video when some...
Off-Kai is an interesting place. Fun fact. Did you know that they're essentially... their corn section is practically... How do I say this? Their corn section is practically, right? Outrageous, by the way, but that's how it is, right? That's how it is. But yeah, their corn section is practically, it's in the main spot, right? Main hall, basically. And you just need to scan a link. So if a minor walks in there, right? 13, 14, scans this, immediate flashback corn. That's why I don't like Off-Kai. They can go fuck themselves.
But he said, sup, chat?
Scared the hell out of me.
What do you mean it scared the hell out of you?
I was like, I'm not there. How's that happening?
You're having like an existential moment.
Mm-hmm. Out of body experience.
That's what I'm having because you took over my tracking somehow.
What?
What the fuck?
I was bored, so I thought I'd come by and say, what's up?
Oh, they want to hear another dad joke. Do you have another dad joke?
Another dad joke. What does tofu and dildos have in common?
What the fuck? I don't know.
They're both meat substitutes. Oh! Peace! I'm out!
Yep. What the fuck? What? Oh, that's rather interesting. How you know? Oh, simple. Somebody on Twitter checked it. It's that simple. Is it like the monster dating section in Barnes and Nobles? Dad joke. Right up your alley, huh? Yeah, but pretty much, yeah, it just straight up leads you to corn. Like, straight up. It just does. It's kind of crazy that it does, but it does. I don't know why it does and how it does, but it does. It just straight up leads you there. And that's how.
What the fuck? I've never heard a joke like that from him before. What the fuck? Yeah, that one's more of an uncle joke. Oh, sprint into the vending machine to help the staff dinosaur. $3,000 tip. What? From Dr. Lolame, no message. What the f? Are you okay? I don't see anything weird on his Twitter. Did you mean that many zeros, or would you like to be refunded? You got promoted. Oh yeah, he tweeted, I'm fine again, Lamau. Thank you! That's very, very kind of you! That's a fucking insane amount of money! Thank you very much! I'll play the ear sound alert, even though it's been retired for so long.
You were a clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
Thank you. The $3,000 fucking dollars. 30 times.
What? That's a lot.
We're not playing it 30 times. Make it louder each time.
You were a clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
You were a clock that was ticking.
Stop! Stop!
Number 3.
Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
You were a clock that was ticking in my soul. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
You were a clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
37 times. 37 times. Are you mental? How? I would send you $3,000, Poker, but I'm broke. Don't do it. The government will take half of it.
Okay, that's it. No more. I think we hit 30. I can't handle anymore.
Jesus fucking Christ. I don't really know what to say.
I should be happy crying right now, right? I should be really grateful. But all I feel is guilty. I just feel so guilty. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm just doing the wrong thing. And it really means a lot to me that you guys continue to support me right.
No way, that's outrageous. That's outrageous, no!
Regardless. Thank you for the 149. Oh, so much.
Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We got him.
I shouldn't be laughing, but I can't help it. Fucking hurts. I'm glad you're laughing. It's pretty funny. Pink anime girl crying and talking about cringe shit with a fucking Japanese horror game in the background and getting spammed with fucking meme sound alerts.
That was outrageous. Wow. Wow, but she got a lot of these. Oh well. Oh, what the? That's an interesting thumbnail with an interesting caption. Anyway, yeah. If I get the chibi clips, it might get even more outrageous. It might be even more insane. It will definitely be more insane. That was something. That was certainly something. That was certainly something. Anyway, guys, that'll be the last video of today. I don't have anything that's like that short. Right? I don't have anything under 12 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever. So, yeah, I will be ending here. I'll probably get right to editing. I'm probably munching. I still have KFC left because I got some earlier. So yeah, I'll get your Shondo ones first. Yes, that's peak. That's peak. I love Shondo. She's great. Even though she had her little oopsie recently, but she's great. Anyway, guys, tomorrow, 2 options. We play the Twilight Princess port, PC port, right? So that is the my fat electrician video, sure, but not that short. Right, not that short. I'll do that next time, that's fine. So either we do play the Twilight Princess PC port, start that, fart sound, there are no fart sounds. Maybe I hit the thing in front of me. Anyway. Or we could try Ark via remote play. I tried it. It didn't fail once. At one time, a little oopsie, that was it. So that would be an option. Though I will not do the hardcore world. We do Scorched Earth. I just have no idea how we're gonna set that up. Or DX Director's Cut Shiny Hunting. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Farewell.